Oop, okay. Hey, everybody. It's me, StarCraft. Welcome to my fifth stream from the multiverse. I've got with me two people that have been on the stream separately, and a newcomer here with us. So let me introduce them all. You know him from one of my earliest streams and two of my streams, Alex, Kingdom Key 23.
Yo, what's up, you beautiful people? It's good to see ya.
Yep, and you also know him from at least one of my streams, and also appeared with me at the same time on one of England team streams, Eric Nowen.
Done. Hey, everybody, what's going on? I hope you had a good Christmas and get ready for New Year's because 2019 is coming and this train has no brakes.
And now for one of our newest additions, and in her very first live stream, I believe, it will be Ingrid.
Hello there, company. Welcome to the Madhouse.
It's a madhouse.
It's a madhouse. A madhouse.
We're here to find out who is the maddest. Here to find out who the maddest one of all is.
You're up for some fierce competition, then, friend.
Minus Ingrid, I was considering calling this the Ed Nettie stream. So.
Oh, what, would that make Ingrid Nads or something?
No. No, it's better than Sarah.
She's better than much better than
two girls on the show. So.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
Eggs.
Well, anyway, now as usual, we usually do free for all. So, anything you three want to talk about first?
First and foremost, a moment of silence. It would have been Stanley's 96th birthday.
A few days ago, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
A moment of silence. Okay. Want to keep it on the shorter side.
Yeah.
So,
and of course, Excelsior.
Excelsior.
Yep.
Excelsior.
Yep. Well, right before the stream, we were just bringing up an interesting controversy that I'm sure some people wouldn't mind bringing up, and that's the incident involving did Grover curse? No, people, he did not. I don't know why people didn't think he did. He did not. But what's your all take on it?
I mean, first of all, my only opinion on it is what a month Frank Oz has had on Twitter because he also had to deal with a little bit of Bert and Ernie a while back after somebody misconcepted about the current puppeteer or writer, rather, one of the last Sesame Street writers before he left. He kept Anakin, who's non-heterosexual, came out and said he was excuse me. Came out and said he kind of wrote Birdie and Bird like if they were in a relationship or something similar to that. Everybody jumped on the bandwagon like wildfire until both Sesame Street Workshop and Frank himself basically had to shoot it down, saying that is not what they do. Now, Frank has always said that he and Jim Henson, may Jim rest in peace,
right.
They were originally going to be brothers back when they were creating the characters for Sesame Street, but they kept it very ambiguous to what their relationship was because they thought that could lead to more jokes and better learning situations. Ernie, will you please get out of the bathtub?
And let's be honest, the fact that they had two separate beds should have been a giveaway.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's been the subject of jokes before. We remember the song from Avenue Q.
Oh yeah, but I'm not gay. Well, that was the whole joke of that, and it doesn't help. And that the people who actually created that show were minor Muppeteers themselves.
For those people who don't know, Jim Henson, that Henson Company, and his company, whenever they had like a two-handed Muppet, or one without the rods or arm wires, you would see. You can't see them now; they're digitally edited. But basically, they would be help out and sort of be an understudy in a way for the main puppeteers. In fact, a couple of times when in Ernie and Bert sketches, Richard Hunt, who did Scooter, Janice, and a few other characters, theirs would be Ernie's right hand, and while Jim would be his left hand.
Mm-hmm.
Again, so interesting stuff there. I remember the first time I saw it was they did a Dr. Seuss puppet show, and I saw a puppeteer with the same hands. I'm like, oh, interesting.
Okay.
interesting thing about Jim and Frank, though, is when they did the Swedish Chef, Jim would just do the chef, but it was always Frank's hands doing all the crazy stuff, like throwing the spoons and the plates around and breaking everything.
Eric, let's give the other. Let's give you. Hey, Eric, I know you're a wealth of information. Let's give the other two a chance to talk a little more.
Oh, of course, we're all Muppet fans here. Let's give the round table.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, well, I mean, with the the Bert and Ernie thing, it is what it is, and I mean, like, just going forward, I'm not sure. I mean, they're just probably just gonna continue to do Bert and Ernie the way they do, but they do introduce like new characters on Sesame Street, so who knows what the future will bring for that? Because I mean, I'd be interested to see that. Because what was it? They're introducing a homeless Muppet now.
Yeah, and which led some people to think like, oh, wait a minute, what about Oscar? Even though Oscar's technically not homeless.
I know he kind of loves his can and considers it home, so I don't think that's really homeless. But
well, remember in Fall That Bird, they thought Big Bird was homeless because he just lives in a nest without any other birds, and it was always in the back alley behind Gordon and Susan's house.
yeah. But like. Sorry. Yeah, but like, but I think if Oscar's happy, then I'm like, whatever. It's his home. He likes the garbage. It doesn't bother him, so it is what it is. But still, it sounds interesting. But the whole stuff with Grover is just ridiculous. And wasn't there a tweet today by Frank Oz too about it?
Yeah, he's like, you really think that Grover would actually talk to that both on or off screen? Really?
Yeah. I mean, Grover always had a particular way of talking. Frank stuck up and said he doesn't speak in contractions. Like instead of can't, he always says cannot because he's obsessed with being correct. But I don't think any of the Muppets. I mean, they may make a couple of jokes alluding to drinking, or they admit on the Tonight, whenever they visit talk shows like the Tonight Show or Steve Colbert, that we could say a few things that we can't say on Sesame Street this late at night.
Yeah, if you want to see the Muppets getting a little naughty, you should check out some of those stuff. Like, what was it? It was Jimmy Fallon when Elmo was on, and he was just a brat.
Oh, yeah, you're being a brat. Oh, yeah, Ingrid, yes, he was being a complete brat.
Hey, Ingrid, if you think that's funny, I thought if you look for Johnny Carson back when he hosted the Tonight Show, whenever he had Jim on the show and he would bring out a Muppet, like Kermit once said, so, do you have any girlfriends? I'm on Sesame Street. You don't ask me a question like that. Do you ask Captain Kangaroo about his sex life?
Yeah. That was good stuff.
But Ingrid, what about your opinion on? Well, I guess in either case, Grover or Bert and Ernie.
Well, as far as the whole Grover thing, I literally just heard about it about 15 minutes before the stream started. And I'm like,
oh, so you have a very fresh perspective.
Can you really find something better to do than worry about that?
I know, really.
That is my comment to every controversy that's happening. It's like, guys, just you need to laugh or get laid big time.
Go outside.
Yeah, go outside.
Like, oh, someone think of the children, though. It's like, get out of here.
Hey, there's that song from FUQ. There is life outside your apartment.
You know what? I bet that the kids didn't even hear it, and now because of this whole controversy, they're going to be aware it's a thing, so congratulations, you played yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah, you just made things worse.
Now, as far as Bert and Ernie, though.
Hello, Streisand Effect. Nice seeing you again. How you doing? Let's go for a coffee.
But, yeah.
All this talking, again, I just miss a lot. It's just reminiscing about all the old Muppet performers. I watched a lot of over the holiday, watching some of the Sesame Street and Muppets Christmas specials, and I forgot, really, they're some of the more underrated Christmas specials. You don't hear so often as Rudolph or the Santa Claus or Love Actually or Charlie Brown or the Grinch.
Yeah, those are always just classic. It's just like, and then the crazy stuff like people have been making big deals of over just making me laugh. It's just like, come on now, really?
Speaking of Muppets, can I get your guys' take on something?
Sure.
Something. While watching those old clips, but then watching a newer clip of recent Muppet works, I kind of have that feeling that Stewie said. Now we got wrong-sounding Muppets.
Oh, waka waka. Who wants to hear a funny-ass joke?
You left cookies in the bed again. You're yelling again, Bert.
Oh yeah, the homicide life on Sesame Street. This program is adult material and is brought to you by the letter H.
Okay, but wait, what are
Well,
you asking now?
No, sorry, go ahead.
So I was
No.
just asking Eric, what are you asking again?
Well, I was thinking back to that, and I was thinking back to speech bubble with Butch Hartman, where he mentioned, no offense to Jim Cummings, but I have a lot of trouble with the recent Winnie the Pooh projects because it's not all I hear is Sterling Hollow. And I thought back to that, and I looked up the Tia Trump's Can't Done Hearing. And then I thought back to 2013 when Mark Summers said, when Mel Blanc passed away, a lot of people thought we could never get match the Looney Tunes voices. But I'm proud to introduce a man who is very close to that, Mr. Billy West, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
And I kind of want to get your takes on that because as I'm having a lot of trouble myself because I like a lot of classic stuff. It's kind of hard to unhear it. You know what I mean?
I'd say it depends on some of the voice actors. Like some of them, like Billy West, does seem to hit when you talk about Looney Tunes, hit the nail on the head. Then you have some who feel like there is that little bit off. But I think there's more of a case of there's so many of them who are able to come very close that it's probably what leads to so many people feeling that way. Like especially during Tiny Toons, they kept rotating a few actors depending on, I guess, their availability or something. To like, you wouldn't have the exact same Bugs Bunny each time.
That's right. I think it was Jeff Bergman who did it, but a couple of times because Joe Alaskey was already doing Plucky Duck, they would say, "Hey, can you do Daffy too?" And Paul double duty, and it was like, "I won't get paid extra, but yeah, sure."
And there was another guy who I believe is no longer with us anymore, either, who had did a lot of it during Tiny Toons.
It wasn't Don Messick. Who was?
No, I don't remember who it is, but
Alex,
yeah.
Alex, what do you think? I mean,
Greg Burson. Greg Burson, that's what it was.
Yeah. Well, I guess you kind of have to understand that, like, I think with like, especially with voice acting, like, if you're going to continuing a project for many years, and actors are going to change, many circumstances are going to change, and like, it's hard sometimes, like sometimes to get used to a new voice, but like I think after a while, like if you listen to it enough, you can sort of adapt to it. And yeah, again, it's not like with comic books where it's just like you can sort of create the own voice in your head, where with like voice actors and all that stuff, you just, like I said, the voices keep changing, so you constantly have to be like, whoa, this sounds really different. But then there are like those, I think sometimes there are the like the acting directors out there who will get the right people that they'll sound really close to the original as possible. Like the Telltale game, the Back to the Future one, the guy who did Michael J. Fox, holy shit, would be amazing.
Now that's pretty good. I mean, I felt the same way rewatching that old cartoon with David Kaufman. I'm like, yeah, this is as close as you're gonna get without getting the real thing. And same thing with the Telltale games. He was damn good.
What about you, Ingrid?
Yeah, and then it's like, unfortunately, sometimes they die. And it's like, you literally can't get the original person who did the voice back, even if you wanted to have them back, as much as you wanted to. So it's like, yeah.
No, I know it's tough.
You kind of just have to learn to adapt and change those things.
At least it's... oh, sorry.
Well, here's where...
Sorry. Did you have any more to say, Ingrid?
Well, I suppose that this is kind of a bit of a way to kind of segue into something else that, well, one of the Twitter handles of one of the other people here, it has kind of inspired me to talk about because it's been on my mind lately. Kingdom Hearts 3.
Oh, yeah. We were going to get
look who you're talking to.
Yep.
You are speaking to a man who, when he saw the commercials, watching WWE Raw one night, saw all the Disney movies and what I thought were groundbreaking graphics, especially for the time, and I said, I want that game.
Well, you definitely made a new friend tonight, Ingrid. I'll tell you that. But no,
yeah, I think you know exactly where I'm going with this. Just having said that.
Oh, there could be many different topics. Which one are you going with?
Yeah.
Oh, I was still just talking about what do you do when there's like a change in voice actors and stuff.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Right.
Well, the great thing about Kingdom Hearts, at least when it's dubbed over here in America, because the game's made in Japan, they will get as many of the voice of the original cast as they originally can. And if they had passed away or are no longer working with Disney, they will get at the substitutes that did the direct to videos or are currently do them for merchandising. Like, of course, Wayne Allowine passed away as Mickey Mouse, so now they've got Bert Irwin, so that's obvious. But anyone who does the princesses or Peter Pan or it's great that for the more recent movies like the Pixar films or Aladdin or Lion King, they do try to get them back.
Yeah, the one I was very excited for was when they got John Ratzenberger to come back as a Ham.
Well, John,
Woohoo!
Yeah.
It's funny. I love watching John, and especially now after I finally watched Cheers and see him as the man. And hey, Normie, here's a little known fact.
Because I think
John Ratzenberger's great. I got to see him see a Q&A with him at the Grand Rapids Comic Con, and he was just great the whole time.
So actually, it's a funny story too. When I was going to college, I went to this pizza place, and he was actually there. I didn't realize it was him until he left. I was like, "Oh my god, that was him!" And I missed him. Damn it!
Oh no!
I know. I felt so bad about that.
I met him just a few while ago when I was at Grand Rapids Comic Con. Well, yeah, you were there, Ingrid. With John Ratzenberger.
I guess I was there, wasn't I?
Yeah, you were at the panel and everything.
I'm jealous now of the three of you. I would have just walked up to him, shook his hand, and said, "Thanks for all the memories, and don't feel bad for losing on Jeopardy. Weird Al lost 3 years before you did."
That's right. Yeah.
I lost on Jeopardy. Baby. Now, someone in the chat is saying, as long as the new voice actor sounds similar to the previous one, then I'm cool. I think a lot of people are feeling like that.
Well, that's what I feel about Disney. They always say they have a strict rule. If you're gonna be the new Mickey, Donald, or Goofy, you gotta sound exactly like Mickey, Donald, or Goofy.
Yeah.
So that's how we get, Wayne and Bill Farmer and Tony Anselmo, and Tony was pretty much the protege of Clarence Ducky Nash, who did Donald from his first appearance all the way up to Mickey's Christmas Carol. That's longevity, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think it's only a problem for me. Like, here's a compare and contrast. As when it comes to getting back to Sesame Street, the Cookie Monster, I know it's not Frank, but he's still a lot of funny, and he still sounds close enough. No, I'll watch this because to pretend. But with Garfield, God bless Frank Welker, but he just doesn't hit the right notes to sound just like Lorenzo music.
Right.
I can understand that. At least a positive to just voice acting and getting a different person. At least you can put the voice over that same model character with a live action movie. That's obviously a lot harder, and I'm sure there've been pretty bad attempts to try and cover up if they get a different actor to play the same character.
True.
Oh no!
What?
That voice dissonance with the live action. It's just. Yeah, that's just something that's really hard to work around medium-wise. That's something you kind of just have to get right, or it just doesn't work at all.
Yeah, the only example I could think of from that, because I'm sure there are other movies out there that were just no, whatever, we're just going to get a different actor. Wasn't there a character in Iron Man 2 that they did that with?
Oh, yeah, they did that. That was with Rhodey.
That's right, yeah, that was it.
The guy who played the first one to Don Cheadle.
Yeah, exactly.
You're talking about different casting, not just voicing wise. I got you.
Yep.
Yeah, because like I said, with voice acting, I feel you can get away with that because the character you can animate the character the same way. It's just a different voice. But with
the funny thing about that, another name that's coming to my head is Matthew Lillard, who played Shaggy in Scooby-Doo. And now did him before Casey Kasem passed away.
Well, also before he also had a little bit of his
right, his and everything. And his sickness, but long live the American Top 40, number one. Number two, he was hesitant to do Shaggy again at first because he thought, am I going to want to be memorized for this for the rest of my career? But he realized he had fun. He really got the voice down pat, and he gets to listen to the Scooby fans and get feedback, and he's like, you know what, I think I made the right decision.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like Casey Kasem's voice in general. Just whenever he did his cop down, sometimes I'd hear it, and it was just kind of a really pleasant tone, just something you just listen to at night, and you're feeling tired and you just want to go to sleep.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, and it's amazing the other Hanna-Barbera projects he would be a part of. It's not. It's kind of bad to hear Shaggy coming out of Robin and with the Batman shorts, but
Oh yeah.
but he always puts 100% because he did have that career in radio. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and just playing off Frank Walker and Don Messick. Yeah, like let's go read the newspaper the next morning. That wasn't what I had in mind, Shaggy.
Although I do love how they actually made fun of all that back at Looney Tunes Back in Action.
Oh yeah.
Where they actually didn't they have it be KC still doing Shaggy say like you made me sound like an idiot or something.
You remember that joke? I also remember the political correctness jabs against Porky and Speedy are complaining they don't get used anymore because A, one's a Mexican stereotype, and B, the other one stutters, and they felt that would have trouble. Nowadays they'd be going at Daffy and Bugs. One, because Daffy has a lisp, so you're making fun of people with lisps, and two, because Bugs cross dresses and given a lot of trans controversy in the news the past couple of years.
Oh Lord!
Although some people have retroactively looked at Bugs and said, "No, he's a trans icon. We love him."
Yeah, I don't get when the whole I don't want to get too political on this stream. It's just this.
Of course not. No, of course not. I mean, if we do get political, understand it's just our opinions. You're free to do whatever you want. We will not hesitate to criticize any politicians, no matter what side they're on. We're like South Park. We hate everybody.
We even hate ourselves. That's how bad it is.
Yep.
Sounds about right.
Yep.
I was about to say too about Looney Tunes Back in Action. Like you bring up all that stuff. I'm like, I know a lot of people like hate on that movie, but I think at least there's like it looks as I've seen it. I'm like, there was some effort put into it. You know?
Yeah.
It tried to feel like trying to bring the Looney Tunes into the new millennium. It did a lot better than Space Jam, which was basically a 20-minute, 90-minute commercial. Granted, a 90-minute commercial which meant because you have Michael Jordan, you get a really good green screen to basketball game at the end.
Right.
But I think they were trying very hard to get Looney Tunes back to its roots. And it's always been hit or miss since the closure of the Warner Brothers Studios and everything. In the 90s, like for every Tiny Toons and Animaniacs, they actually had like a Space Jam or something goofy where they're being all nicey nice, like in the Invasion of Bunny Snatchers cartoon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like Space Jam's not that. I know there are a lot of people who really like it. I'm just like, I guess I kind of have a soft spot in it for just because it was just like it's so just 90s. It just like threw so much 90s stuff in your face. It's kind of like a time capsule in a weird way.
Yeah.
This is why I like watching old music.
Oh, it's sweet, sweet nostalgia.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So much nostalgia.
This is why I like watching old music videos from the 1980s that used to air on MTV, because I'm like, they dress like that, their hair like that, the girls wore makeup like that, and I'm like, what happened to? Okay, somebody break out my Walkman and my VCR. I'm going back.
It's funny because we look. It's funny because like we look back on like stuff from the 50s and we're like, oh, that stuff is silly. But then like our kids are gonna be like looking at the 90s and like the clothes we wore, the Walkmans, all this stuff. It's like, what kind of period did you guys live up in? It's like, hey, that was our time,
This is why I love the React channel, to watch kids actually react to old computers, to Walkmans, to telephones with the rotary dials, right. And basically and also to videotapes. You're like, how do you text on this thing? You can't text on a phone like this. What?
Yeah. Have you ever seen that? Have you ever seen the React videos, Ingrid?
I have in the past, but I haven't recently. But I'm a person who didn't get a smartphone until she was like in college. So it's like, yeah, I definitely can't relate.
I understand. I mean, it was also back then we had remember beepers?
Oh, yeah. Pagers,
yeah.
My dad had a beeper back when he was working at his previous computer job. After
then finally
I
someone got the smart
pagers.
idea.
I never owned one.
Yeah, someone finally got the smart idea. Hey, let's put a cell phone and a beeper together. Well, how about that?
Well, now you have no work-life separation. It's fantastic.
Well, let's not forget though. Technically, all beepers or pagers were just simply portable caller IDs.
Right. I think I think from like around 1998 to 2002, there was like that blend of variety because somebody like Eminem once said, I left my pager, my home phone, and my cell at the bottom, and there were still pay phones. You still saw the commercials for 1-800-COLLECT or 1-800-CALL-ATT or 10-220. So you had all that perfect blend, and now we just have smartphones because we're like, hey guys, look, we can watch YouTube on this thing. We could do our crap. We could pay our bills on this. I do miss our flip phone, so because like Star Trek, I could just close it up like a clam.
Oh yeah, that feeling was always good.
Yep. Hey, tell him that joke you once told me about from Jerry Seinfeld.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I'm a big fan of Seinfeld. I love the show. I love Jerry stand-up. But in one of the stand-ups at an end of an episode, it's like, I love my phone. I can't stand cordless phones right now because, here's the way. When you're angry at somebody on a corded phone, you're like, oh yeah, well, same to you, buddy. And then clink. Like when you have a cordless phone, you're like, oh yeah, well, same to you. Now, which button do I push to turn it off?
Oh, yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah.
I mean, you could always chuck it onto a soft surface. It's not advised, but that might be the dramatic punch you're going for.
Yeah, I was going to say, you might want to be careful with that, but still, I guess, go ahead.
No fun for you.
No fun for you. No soup for you. But,
that's what I do when the drama gets too much. I just throw on an old sitcom and let the laughs roll. Believe me, I've seen everything at this point from All in the Family and I Love Lucy up to Brooklyn Nine-Nine. So I have a lot of laughs. That's
right.
Yeah, so actually, there's this show my stepdad and I've been watching lately. I don't know if any of you heard it. It's called Svengoolie, and it's pretty much he showcases. He's like one of those old horror hosts where it's kind of more played for laughs.
I know.
This is news to me.
Yeah,
I know who Svengoolie is. He dates back to the 70s, back when we saw at UHF televisions.
Yeah, that's right. But he's doing a recent thing now where like he highlights these old classic movies, like these old B movies, and it's like Mystery Science Theater. My stepdad and I just have fun just sort of riffing on them, and it's a lot of fun. It's something I definitely highly recommend if you're looking for like a bad movie night.
That's definitely another thing of the past. Like whenever instead of going off the air at night, a lot of local networks would do a lot of old bad public domain movies, but they would have a horror host like Svengoolie or a couple of robots. Or I know TNT had a Joe movie, Bob. Friday the 13th is the AC/DC of horror movies. They made the same one 6 times.
Yeah, exactly.
Rob's personal favorite, of course, is Elvira, Mistress of the Dark.
Oh, well, obvious reasons.
Yeah, she was.
Well, not just maybe not the obvious reasons, but she was also talented, and I mean that in a legit way, not the Sailor Jupiter from Sailor Moon way. Ingrid, you get the joke I'm saying?
Yep, big Sailor Moon fan over here.
Boing.
Yeah. The English stuff. What were you thinking?
Yeah, how did you get away with that? It's like I have the most. It's like the line itself isn't bad. It's the fact they still kept the boobs jiggling and the doing.
It's like,
oh my god!
I think at that point cartoons were slow. I think at that point that everybody was realizing, you know what? Forget the New Yorks. We're going in syndication. We'll get less censor notes. But we won't get any censor notes if we go HBO. But we want a bigger audience.
Yeah, now that Toonami, that's something I could get behind every night. Yeah.
Oh yeah. But before we get to our anime talk, it's funny I mentioned Elvira because I think the late 80s was the only time you could turn on MTV and see Elvira Headbangers Ball and the California Raisins. And it's all on the same music channel.
Looks like we got a little interest from It's McGee again, basically saying Sailor Moon.
Yeah.
Represent.
Yep. Well, if you want to just dive right into that very quick, Alex, first of all, do you have any opinions on Sailor Moon?
You tell me you never watched it.
It's not. No, I have watched a little bit. It's not for me.
Okay, that's fair. A lot of anime. That's the best thing I think about anime, more so than a lot of American cartoons, is they have something that's basically meant for everyone.
Hey, okay. Hey, it's okay because you guys, unlike me, have watched Cowboy Bebop 100 times.
I was 100 times, but I definitely watched it. Have you, Ingrid?
I actually have not watched it yet. I have like a case where there's so much stuff on the I want to watch radar that when I actually sit down and want to watch something, it's like, where do I start?
Oh, that's always a big thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
even with stuff online like Netflix, you're just like, oh, there's too many shows. I don't know.
And by the time you're ready getting around to it, it's taken off of Netflix. Crap.
Oh, I hate
No!
that.
And then you're scrambling. You're like, is it on Hulu? Is it on Amazon? Is there a new streaming device? Okay, there's a DC one. There's a Disney one. There's a CB.
There's Amazon Prime.
There's an HBO one. And you're like, oh, it's like you're just sitting there late at night. Okay, there's an old movie. There's Bob Ross, that happy little guy.
I'm just going to turn it on and fall asleep. I don't want to think about this anymore.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it just bugs me a little bit that like Netflix is always taking off stuff, but I guess it's copy. It's I mean, like
it's licensed. It's a
licensing. I mean, licensing.
People were. Yeah, and that's another bad thing because if you try to take off an old show, like people demanded that Friends or The Office not expire. So they were scrambling with the studios to say, okay, we renewed it for another year. We're safe.
Yep.
Because they try to put so much focus now on their original programs. The problem is because they make so few episodes and only do it like in one they put them up all at once at one time. They don't get as much traffic as something that people remember from the old TV. The TV they would watch in reruns and have over 100 episodes to their name. So all those Netflix shows have a little bit of a ways to go to catch up. In fact, a lot of ways to go since they seem to be holding the Great Britain mindset of we do 6 or 12 episodes and then we're gone for another year.
Yeah, it's like don't get me wrong. I like the next Netflix original shows. Like I love Stranger Things and all that, but I still just want to have like all these great shows I've missed out on in the past. Just I can go on Netflix and watch them.
Right. I mean, Hulu right now is doing a lot of that. It's got Buffy, it's got Star Trek, it's got the X-Files. It's got a lot of bingeable shows.
I don't actually have Netflix or Hulu. I've got Crunchyroll and Amazon Prime because Amazon Prime is honestly a godsend as an adult.
It is. It is. I could turn on and my dad will be like, hey, that's Laughing. I remember that show. Or why are you watching The Dukes of Hazzard? Well, then you boys better get rid of the Confederate flag on top unless they want people to yell at them now.
Oh, no!
Alex, have you seen it all, Bandersnatch? That's the new Black Mirror.
No, I haven't. Is it good?
I heard it's actually has like a choose your own event, choose your own like it's interactive.
Oh, that sounds interesting. Is it kind of like would you have to click on certain things?
I have no idea how it works. Someone brought it up. I've been hearing a bit about this all over. I don't know.
I'm kind of curious.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's
the key thing. Well, I haven't seen it, but I would definitely like to give it a look.
I've heard a lot of good things about Black Mirror.
Oh yeah. I've heard a lot.
I actually got to watch an episode of that in my advanced information ethics class in college for. I think it was a day that was like just before a break and like it was kind of in a lull, but we kind of watched the episode and then had something of a class discussion. It's like, yeah, it's really, really neat and really interesting way to look at some of the conundrums with technology that may exist. That's just kind of a way of media to working that out.
Right.
That sounds really interesting. I should check that out.
Yeah. The one in particular I saw was kind of about sort of integrating, like, sort of basically taking the whole social media reputation thing up a couple of notches to where it's like your ability to like rent stuff or like get on planes and stuff is entirely dependent on your rating or whatever, and you have to stay around the best people and whatnot, and this whole thing just becomes like a big stressor for the character in question before she eventually just discovers somebody whose rating is really super low and eventually discovers that it's like, hey, maybe it's better to just not care and be yourself in the end. And it's just like kind of just something that's uncomfortably familiar with how we end up actually using social media and where that kind of system could conceivably go in the future.
I hear you.
That definitely sounds like something close to life. Especially people creating their own online persona and all that stuff, blah, blah, blah.
Oh yeah, don't that
Mhm.
especially.
That sounds like my kind of sci-fi because I love sci-fi that uses plots like that, or rather, they use those plots to basically do cautionary tales or morality tales, but do it in a way similar to Twilight Zone or the old Star Trek, where it kind of reflects our own but still be different. But at the same time, you can get the message. It sounds like my kind of sci-fi. I may check that out now.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. It's definitely. It looks like it's definitely also like more of an insight into that person's mind as well, which I like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, like I said, this idea, it's McGee also just said you basically you click on, I guess, the choice or something like that. It sounds very interesting. You know,
Okay.
again, it's the newest season or something of Bandersnatch. So, no, Black Mirror. So, yeah.
Okay, so I got two new sci-fi shows I want to watch. That and
Just
wow,
keep adding to the list.
well, wait.
Woohoo!
The other is The Orville by Seth MacFarlane.
Oh yes.
I heard that's really good.
It is.
Oh, the Orville is very good.
Because doesn't it start out kind of like parody, but then it just kind of gets serious?
It's more of a balance. It doesn't
It's like-
start off. It actually, it's still.
What would
it's
happen if
still-
Galaxy? It started like Galaxy Quest, but then it became more like Ghostbusters, and that it'll start as a parody, but then it'll become real sci-fi, but with a lot of comedic moments.
Yeah,
Oh,
basically.
okay, gotcha. Guys, that's
That
because a lot
sounds
of
like a
people.
lot of fun.
Yeah, because people are praising it more than the new Star Trek.
Oh yeah.
When you got a bunch of boneheads that's running the ship with nobody related to Gene Roddenberry, of course you're going to sink the ship. Or sink the Enterprise in this case.
No, that's if
Yes,
you
that's to
had, no,
pay
that'll be,
respects.
no, that's if you had Counselor Troy piloting it. How do you crash into a planet?
Is this hey, Jean-Luc Picard kept wanting to blow it up. It's like when you know that if Kirk was on there, we never blow her up.
Unless it was, well, again, I think that was supposed to be a representation of how Starfleet looks at things a lot differently.
True, it did take place 100 years into the future or whatever.
It was either 100 or what Flit and Amaranth. What is the Expanse? I don't know what they're talking about.
God, I got Wikipedia up. Let me look for it.
Yep. All right. So
The handy old Wikipedia.
Yep. I'm trying to be more interactive with the chat these days.
According to this, it's another sci-fi series based on the Expanse series of novels by James S.A. Coney, and it airs on the Sci-Fi Network, or at least I think it says 2015 to 2018, so I think the latest season wrapped up recently.
Oh, okay.
I have not seen it.
It's got, let's see, 36 episodes by 3 seasons. And so I don't know, maybe we'll check it out. It amazes me how many movies and TV shows are based off of books.
I know. Yes, well, especially movies because they're always cranking them out.
I know, Jaws.
I know, like one of the things that I find of surprising when I found out is that I was taking like an English and British literature course in college, and we had to read like a James Bond book, and I'm like, what the hell? Those weren't just movies. Those were actually based on books, because James Bond just kind of seems like the exact series they just make straight movies out of. It's like, wait, hold on.
Well,
yeah, I know. Mine was blown. I'm like, what? That was based on a book?
well,
Yeah.
the titles in each movie do say in Fleming's 007 James Bond in, and then the title of the movie. So yeah, it did surprise me too at first. Like, wait, Casino Royale all the way up to For Your Eyes Only, where where books are short stories.
Yeah.
By
Mind blown.
by a former MIA agent in the 40s and 50s. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hilarious that with Casino Royale they never like quote unquote officially did one until Daniel Craig.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. All you had was the spoof or something.
Yeah, it was
right.
some spoof. I never saw it.
Right.
I heard it was good.
The funny by getting back to Canon Hero, whenever somebody does read those, they think one of 3 Bonds. And they either think Sean Connery because he's the original, Timothy Dalton because he said he read the books to help him with the role in his 2 movies, or of course Daniel Craig because he's the more hard-edged Bond in the recent film. Some will take more to the books. Shaken or stirred? I don't give a damn. A double martini, shaken, not stirred. Thank you, Moneypenny.
Right.
I'm a huge James Bond fan.
Yep.
Yeah, unfortunate because millennials can't get into it because for various reasons.
Oh no!
He's a womanizer. He drinks. He smokes. He doesn't think very highly of minorities. A lot of that has to do with Ian Fleming. Oh, he was definitely a man of his time.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Especially if you see the earlier ones, I was just like, wow, they would not get away with some of this stuff today.
Hey, even back then, they had to fight with both the Motion Picture Association of America and the British Sensory Board about promotion pictures because they were popular both on both sides of the Atlantic. So they always had to find that perfect balance of, okay, how do we do the sex and the violence without being too sexy or too violent for one side of the pond? Because because some people bring their kids to watch these films.
Right.
Yeah, especially to a movie called Octopussy. Sorry, YouTube.
It's all right. I'm not monetized yet. I don't have to worry about any of that.
It's not like we're showing a live condom on the air or anything.
Oh, dude.
All right. No, I've heard demonetization stories about that twice already.
Yeah, if I had weaponized right in here, he would almost just get demonetized just from the word go.
Oh, brother.
Trust me, I've heard a lot worse stories on Twitch. So.
Oh boy.
You know what I like? You know what I like about Twitch? You know what? It's actually I'm glad I discovered Twitch because it keeps me up to date on current video games. But of course, recently YouTube and Twitch have been polluted by one thing, so we can talk about it now. It's now Super Smash Brothers Ultimate.
Oh yeah, Ultimate. My brother just got
Woohoo!
it, and he just we also got because I got him a $50 gift card for Christmas. He also got the season pass.
Nice.
Yep.
Hey, since tomorrow's New Year's Eve, what do you guys think? What's game of the year?
Oh, well,
you go first, Rob.
I'm gonna say there's so many games that I can say, but unfortunately, I don't have access to because a lot of them are exclusives. Damn it!
Right.
And one of those, which game of the year for me, Spider-Man.
Oh, I want to play that so badly.
I think why I like it so much, aside from it just being really fun, is I feel like it takes all of the good aspects that we love of Spider-Man and it puts them together. Like, there are people who says like all the whiny Peter Parker stuff, blah, blah, blah. But I feel like they just captured what like Spider-Man really is in the character, like all the struggles he faced, but then all of the good he does for other people. It's just a fantastic. Especially the climax. That was like emotionally gut wrenching.
From what I heard, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's really what you got to do with Spider-Man is you always got to hit that perfect balance. And funny story, one YouTube video that I did see, the developer who used to work at Activision and Treyarch, who did the swinging physics for the Spider-Man 2 video game, though, that was highly praised. A fan actually went up to his house and said, "Hey man, check this out. See how your swinging physics have evolved to this."
Oh yeah, I heard. I haven't seen that. I gotta see that video.
And he did, and he was just swinging for like a half an hour, and he's like, "This is actually a lot of fun." Yeah, dang, I am speechless right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, actually, because now after playing that one, I do want to play some of the other Spider-Man games because there's this YouTuber. He was part of Super Best Friends. His name is Matt, and he has his own channel. It's called Matt McMuscles, and he plays a bunch of Spider-Man games. And I was watching him play some of them. I'm like, I should really look at them, like the one Neversoft did, because I love the work they did with Tony Hawk with the Tony Hawk games.
Oh yeah. And you know what the funny thing is? I watch Guru Larry, the guy, when he does some of his what's it called, Alex? You know what I'm talking about? Like his little facts or his little lists.
Yeah.
But he did one time about these rants for hidden video games from developers, and when he talked about the American developer Fact Hunt, and when he was talking about one of the American ones, you see this one guy in the PC version of it just going off, and he's saying like, "F this guy, doesn't work, fire this guy, why is it doing?" Basically going all off on this one employee. Turns out the guy that this person was yelling at was the employee in question.
Yeah.
He was basically ranting at himself, but he kept it in there.
That's hilarious.
And he's like, "Can't get it to work, fire this guy." It's like, what, did he want himself fired?
He hates himself that much.
But I mean, a lot of people have said, hands down, getting back to the PlayStation 4, is the God of War they released this year. Yeah.
Oh yeah, from what
Yeah,
I
I still have to play it. I'm actually the other big game of the year, quote unquote, I'm playing right now is Red Dead Redemption.
Oh yeah, I've seen.
I have been really behind on games, namely because I've been really behind on consoles for the most part.
Same here.
Although I literally just got a PS4. It's taken me
nice.
that long to do.
Lucky.
It's okay. All I got is a Wii and a PlayStation 2. My New Year's resolution is to get a PS4, a Switch, and upgrade my computer so I can buy everything on Steam.
Oh yeah, but yeah, there's no. Go ahead.
I got a Microsoft computer, so after that, I won't need an Xbox unless there's like a Halo game I really, really want to play.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but my biggest enemies so far in Red Dead Redemption 2 are freaking crocodiles. Because I'm trying to go through a swamp, and they keep coming out, just biting me up. It's great.
This is why I'll never live in a Louisiana or Florida swamp.
Yeah.
And then,
Louisiana.
I honestly wasn't expecting it because I'm like, oh, there's animals you can hunt. That's cool. I'm just walking around, and all of a sudden, crocodile. What the fuck?
crocodiles aren't the first animal you think of when you think of the Old West. You think of armadillos, snakes, horses.
But you got to remember the rest of the world. Everyone keeps thinking about just the Old West, when it's like, it wasn't just the West. The West was just the big pioneering time.
That's true. There was the journey to the West. Pardon the expression.
Yeah, you had to go to the plains.
Yeah, you got to go through the plains, go through the forest. It's the Oregon Trail. That's what it is.
The beginning, the beginning kind of.
Yep.
Yeah, the beginning kind of does act like the Oregon Trail, except there's a lot more gun shooting, a lot more people dying.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Although a lot of people can die in the Oregon Trail.
Don't forget the zombie version.
Oh, I love that. Just the fact that they kept the graphics just like the original game. That's what sold it for me.
Yep. Hey, did you ever hear about that, Ingrid? The Oregon Trail.
Oh no!
Yep. Where
I
instead
have not heard of it, but I think I get a feeling of what it's about just based on the name.
Yep. But get this, you actually do have a wagon, a station wagon. Same design, same color scheme as the old game.
I know that I said that's what I mean. I feel like if they went with modern graphics, I probably would, because I think that's part of the appeal of it. Because Oregon Trail, it kind of exists in its own world, and I feel like capturing that original feel of those games is what makes the Oregon Trail really funny.
Yep. Oh, but Alex, you're never gonna let me forget what I did. Are you?
Oh yeah, I wasn't. Didn't you have to put me down or something?
Yeah, you got bitten. So I'm like, screw it, bang.
You suck, man.
And it was by the time we got to the first town, you got bitten. So I'm like, screw it.
Sure, whatever.
And this is what it's like when you have the video game there's no consequences to your moral compass.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Like Walking Dead, or what was the other one? Am I thinking of Uncharted or Far Cry? I don't. The heck with it. See, this is how ignorant I am, folks. And since I don't work and since Toys R Us went under, I really can't keep up with current gaming. Except for my nephew who plays Fortnite 24 hours a day every time I play.
He's taken over by the world of Fortnite.
Well, either that or Overwatch, and I would prefer Overwatch.
Yeah, it is what it is. Like it's what the kids are into nowadays. What is.
Well, hey, how do you think our parents were when we all got into Pokemon? Okay.
Oh God. It's the devil's work.
You assume that we ever got out of Pokemon?
No, yeah. I'm talking about the original phrase where Pokemania was running wild, brother. When Pikachu, brother dude Jack, and why am I doing Hulk Hogan?
You're asking me.
Oh, that's right, because he did that one Pokemon promotion for the 10th year anniversary. That's what it was. But basically, I had to explain my grandparents once what a Pikachu was when somebody showed out his Pokemon cards in the middle of a church meeting.
Ooh. Hey, here's the question. Here's the question. Opinions on Detective Pikachu?
I haven't seen it. No opinions.
I think, at least from what I've seen from the trailers, it looks like it has the potential to be really, really good.
Yeah,
Yep.
maybe finally the video game movie to break the curse. But no, seriously. I mean, yeah, some people like it can be, I guess, jarring to see the characters in this kind of new look. But I feel like it's capturing the true essence. Like it's about, hey, this is a town with Pokemon trainers. It's not like what they're doing with Sonic so far.
Let's not talk about that right now. Otherwise, I'm going to be binging chili dogs until I puke.
Hey, what's wrong with working out?
Oh, back to Spider-Man for a second. Into the Spider-Verse. Thumbs up, everybody.
Alex hasn't seen it yet.
Oh well.
Haven't seen it yet.
Nope, neither has Ingrid. I'm the only one here who's seen it. Huge thumbs up. Huge thumbs up.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say though. It seems like Spider-Man is he's been on a roll this year.
I'm grateful for that because because he's Marvel's most famous superhero. You gotta fight. And it seems whenever you get like Peter Parker himself, whenever he gets knocked back down, someone comes along and he's right back up again, and reminding us why we love him as a superhero. And in this case, a multitude of reasons: Miles Morales, Spider-Ham, Spider-Gwen.
Spider-Ham.
It's basically Shattered Dimensions, but with even more in a full-length movie and different animation techniques.
I'm sorry, nothing will ever beat Spider-Pig. Spider-Pig.
Spider-Pig does whatever a Spider-Pig does.
I know, but get this, the fact that people actually thought, oh, they ripped off from Simpsons. No, you idiot! It was the...
I can't believe it was actually in the comp. Rob actually told me that. I was like, really?
Yeah, people actually
double face palm.
I know, it's like,
two things. Number one, when I saw the Simpsons movie in the theater, as soon as that came around, everybody sang along, but then we were all dead silent when we realized, oh shit, there's a second verse. And number two, and secondly, it's not the first time people have seen the Simpsons and didn't realize they were ripping off an older thing, like a Twilight Zone episode or the music.
Don't forget about the Music Man spoof. People legitimately thought that the Matthew Broderick movie ripped off The Simpsons.
Simpsons did it
earlier than that.
Yeah, that movie is way older.
Same with The Producers by Mel Brooks.
Yeah, I think if you see the South Park episode, it sums it up pretty nicely.
Simpsons did it. Simpsons did it. They were ripping it off from a Twilight Zone episode. But that's what parody does, basically. I mean, come on. When we were kids, we had no idea Bugs Bunny was doing Edward G. Robinson or Humphrey Bogart until we saw Casablanca or Angels with Dirty Faces, or we didn't realize Robin Williams was doing all these characters as the genie until we looked up who Jack Nicholson or Arsenio Hall or who or Ed Sullivan was.
Right.
So it's one of those generational things when it comes to parody.
Yep. Hello, drunk 3PO. I see you are drunk, so you can finally not listen to any more of R2D2's bullcrap. Is that why you're drunk?
What R2? What's your language?
I know. He doesn't. I don't like you either.
Yeah, I gotta say, I'm one of those who do believe that R2 is more than times than not cursing and those bleeps.
Hey, R2D2, you found a cigarette. I don't think smoking is grown up at all.
Yeah, I think that's my biggest proof of that. Is that if he was smoking. Yeah, he's probably a foul mouth.
Yeah, I would love someone just to re-edit the whole movie and just put subtitles of him cursing like a storm.
I know. You're a good man.
I mean, they do subtitle all the others.
Ryan Johnson, Bulk. Let's not talk about that.
Moving on.
But they do subtitles for the other aliens like Jabba the Hutt and Greedo.
Yeah, but I think in the case of R2, I think it's meant to be up to our imagination.
That's true, and I think it always made it funny.
It can be more fun that way sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Although the one time I could definitely tell a bit of wording from him was that one bit where he's like, all right, it's like, all right, I don't think he likes you. Woo, woo. Nope, I don't like you at all. He was basing, and you. That's what I always look at. He was basing, and you too, and you.
I know, I didn't like you much either.
I know, but it was that was the one time I think I could ever make sense of what he was saying.
Actually, another funny movie story, similar on topic. Like when the audio commentary of the DVD I have for Die Hard.
Die Hard.
That And the debate rages on whether it's a Christmas movie or not. So let's not get into that right now.
Yeah, I think that argument's been done to death.
I think
Yep.
Gremlins, you can make a better argument. I think.
Right.
Getting back to Die Hard for a second. Second, he said the reason why you hear no subtitles when Hans Gruber's henchmen are talking in another language, it's that one of the designers or the supervising producer said one thing that ticked him off about watching, other language foreign films, he would always turn off the subtitles, and when people ask him, well, why are you doing that? You can't understand a thing. It's because, hey, if I don't want to read a movie, number one. Number two, I'd like to actually focus on the acting of the actors that are playing these characters.
Right.
So that was his decision to deliberately have, when they're speaking in German or Russian or whatever, to not have subtitles as they were yelling at each other, and usually only speaking English when they were either Hans talking to his main henchman or when Bruce Willis as John McClane would find him. You cannot shoot me. There are rules to a policeman. That's what my superior officer keeps saying to me.
I think that's what I love best about Die Hard. It's one of those movies that has very few real holes in it.
Right.
And do you two agree? I know Eric
yeah.
said right, so I'm just asking about you two.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I especially love Alan Rickman. God rest his soul. He was fantastic.
Oh, absolutely. Hans Gruber is usually the better part of the movie. Even Bruce Willis says, the best, whenever I feel like my best movies, you got to have a good villain. What makes a good hero is a good villain.
Well, why isn't he had to have a be? It was his brother when it got to Die Hard 3.
That's true. Played by
your brother. Your brother was an asshole. You're right. He was an asshole.
Yeah.
Samuel L. Jackson as well, ladies and gentlemen. If you're going to shoot me, go ahead, but I got to answer that damn phone.
Are you trying to hit someone? No. Oh, well, maybe that mime. What is with the hatred of mimes?
It's mime time. Today on Mime Time.
No. What is with the hatred for mimes?
It's like, well, I remember Family Guy in a less violent job. Okay, but remember our performance anarchy: legitimate theater, music theater, stand-up comedy, ventriloquism, magic, mime.
I think maybe see a drunk 3PO. Yep. Hey, nice seeing ya. I think part of it might be because a lot of mimes get in people's faces too much.
That's true, and they always trap you in the box. That's the other thing.
Oh boy, no.
I can never know how to escape.
Yeah, I'm talking about in real life. I think a lot of people were probably like, "Oh, I hate mimes."
That's one of my favorite episodes of Dexter's Laboratory, where he's the clown and Dee Dee's the mime.
Oh yeah.
And it was the only way to stop him because he got bitten by a clown and he became a were clown.
A radioactive cloud. Who knew?
That's one of my favorite Fozzie Bear-like jokes. Why is 6 afraid of 7? Because 7, 8, 9.
Because 7, 8, 9. Do you remember Dexter's Lab, Ingrid?
Oh yes, I definitely remember Dexter's Lab.
Well, you have a
Kavanaugh, God rest her soul.
Right. Well, you have a trio here who remember everything from old Looney Tunes and Hanna-Barbera all the way up to Steven Universe and My Hero Academia, I think. No shortage of cartoons to talk about.
Right.
Indeed.
Or if we ever guess the theme song, we'd be like, oh, this is X-Men. Oh, this is Recess. Oh, this is Adventure.
Yeah, that was another, like you said, another React thing they did where they guessed cartoons. That was awesome.
Oh, yeah. I remember the one with a girl who just freaked out when it was X-Men.
Yeah, she was like, oh, Scott Summers was my first crush.
Yeah, but what was the other one? Like, one girl really flipped out, like, something, like oh, God.
I know, or something. It's like, oh, this is Rugrats. My nostalgia dick is hitting me, man.
No,
I can just hear the theme music in my head with you just saying that name.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if I heard the X-Men theme, I'd freak out. I think that might have been like one of my first superhero shows as a kid.
Yeah, me too. Me too. It was that, and that because it also aired on Fox, the Batman animated series, which got a really good Blu-ray release. If nobody's picked that up, I highly recommend it if you haven't gotten that on DVD yet, because especially to hear any interview with Bruce Timm and Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill and talk about how great it was a once in a lifetime, show where everything came together perfectly.
Yeah, I really should.
Yep.
Like, I mean, Mark on Twitter, whenever he does talks about Joker, he's always with the glowing lights. Hey, give me a second life, and like between this and doing Wing Commander and all of my stage plays, I always it was my dream to do the comic.
Right.
Yeah, it is cool to see that Mark Hamill has definitely embraced the Joker. You can tell he just loves doing the Joker.
The thing is, Kevin Conroy doing Batman, like anytime he gets to return, he's like, oh, absolutely, and I do not mind coming back with Tim Daly and Susan Eisenberg and Michael Rosenbaum and doing.
Yeah, I swear though, he looks a lot skinnier than he used to, and either that or he wore just a lot of suits to really hide his small frame. I can't, with Conroy.
It's certainly possible. I mean, he's definitely getting older, so he's probably losing a lot of weight. Most people gain weight when they get older, but
yeah, in his case, like he just looks really like. To the point for there was a brief time I thought he wasn't looking so good.
Well, I'm not sure. Well, who knows with that? He probably doesn't know too much of his personal life.
True.
I can respect a lot of celebrities would prefer the private life as opposed to everybody the media hounding them every day like the Kardashians or Taylor Swift.
Boy.
Man, I'd probably pay to have a private life too, because Lord knows when I get to my apartment at the end of the day, I basically don't want to talk to anybody in person.
Right.
Especially with all the stuff like that's gone on with the Kardashians. Like I heard one thing where she went back, she was like in Paris. I forgot where she was, but like she got held up and a bunch of her jewelry was stolen. And like I could understand why a lot of people are like, "No, I don't want that kind of life. It's just too much. You have too much people on you."
Well, yeah. But the thing though, I don't think that usually happens that often.
Yeah.
Well, it's always the morality tale. Like, it's lonely at the top. Are you really that lonely? I mean, in some people, like Michael Jackson's case, yes, he really felt that lonely despite having such a extended family and a lot of fake fans. But you wouldn't know it if he was like, boy, I dreamed I was a raisin. Must have been something I ate. But you could hear it in his songs because as the albums went on, he just got angrier and angrier.
Oh, man.
It's like, Janet, they don't care about us anymore.
Right.
Just leave me alone.
Just leave me alone.
Okay, before we get my copyright again.
Again, I don't think that's going to take it.
I'm just making those jokes until we finally do.
Right. I got a long way. In fact, and you don't know who we're about to talk about, Ingrid, but I just want to give a quick shout out to Tristan, aka Nerdette's Newsstand, for reaching 800 subscribers.
Woohoo!
Yep, I'm convinced we're going to reach 1,000 and get monetized by either the start of spring or by the start of the summer.
Nice.
At the rate she's going, I mean,
It just goes to show you she has a lot of like really good opinions on things, and people are going to want to listen to them. So I definitely hope you keep going and build a bigger audience.
Yeah. It's like Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come. And she has built quite a following for herself. You got to.
That is amazing.
Yeah, you got to respect that. Give that woman a freaking can of Coke.
Yep, and Ingrid, you think that's amazing? She's only been on, at least with this channel, for 2 months.
Damn.
Wow, that is some amazing growth.
Yeah. And me, I've been on here with this channel for about 11 years, and I already reached a little bit under 500 before I started doing my current show. And then I've only gained up to, I'm only just past, a bit past 700.
We need more promotion, I think.
I'm trying.
We need to hire an advertising agent.
But, hold on. Very quickly with, oh yeah, but you know what is still my most viewed video overall that still baffles me? I still get views constantly for it. My little Danny Phantom Originals intro video.
I think because instead of dubbing it over with another popular song, you just basically took that original song, and all the Danny Phantoms fans came out of the woodwork and saying, that's what that is? This is crazy. Somebody share this with Butch Hartman now.
I know. And well, someone did reveal the original not storyboarding for the original intro done to that theme.
That's pretty cool. I know Butch does put that on his channel. He thought it was great.
Oh yeah, but yeah, I'm still getting like a couple 100 views on it or something.
That's pretty cool.
Whenever you do one of those videos, it always surprises me because I consider myself the musical geek between the two of us. But when there is a popular song, when we start singing together, I'm like, dude, you just want to do karaoke night? It'll be the four of us doing what Family Guy did, and we'll all sing "Don't Stop Believing" by Journey.
Don't stop believing.
Even.
Or if we all grew our hair out, we could do a Bohemian Rhapsody like in Wayne's World.
By the way, the resurgence of the popularity of Queen every decade always surprises me, but I'm so glad it is because they are one of the best rock bands of all time.
Of all time.
Absolutely.
One of the best collection of musicians.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I've listened to their albums. Like they won't just stick to piano, guitar, bass, and drums. They much like the Beach Boys or the Beatles, they'll get like sitars and whistles and treat things that are usually aren't an instrument as one. Take one big thing, and they'll just put on overdub after overdub on a 16-track tape deck. And this is the story of Bohemian Rhapsody. They were scared because all those overdubs of Freddie Mercury were almost lost. They thought they were stuck. They thought that.
Oh, damn!
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
If they didn't find the stolen tapes, we wouldn't have gotten the radio hit that we know it as today, as seen on Wayne's World and stuff.
Right. And of course, in the recent movie.
Yes, of course. I mean, that's why I mentioned the resurgence. You hear that, and I'm here, and in a recent commercial, I keep hearing the Flash Gordon theme all the time.
Oh yeah.
Flash.
And then I love speaking of like bringing people back for commercials. The whole stuff with Macaulay Culkin in those new Home Alone commercials is great.
Oh, have you
Oh
seen
my gosh, those are absolutely brilliant.
They really are.
It convinced me after 20 years to rewatch Home Alone again, and I'm surprised at how great that movie still.
Sorry. So, Alex, here you go. A little interesting fact that Eric told me. The bit where the mom goes Kevin turns out a missing a line and trying to recover the scene moment.
It was an ad lib by Catherine O'Hara because she forgot her line, so she just thought Kevin, and John Hughes and Chris Columbus just said, keep it in.
Which explains why by the time it felt so natural there, and that's why the other one they actually allowed her to just go over the top. Kevin.
And then faint.
I feel that one. Yeah, I feel that one worked a lot better. It just.
Well, I think because that other one was actually planned. The first one was more in spur of the moment. Right. But I think her big, the fact that she missed the line. But you can believe the mom's like, "What is it? What was it?"
I know. Oh, Joe Pesci and the guy Daniel Stern who played Harvey and Marv. They improv'd a couple of their lines. Why
you dressed like a chicken?
Why the hell are you bare? Why the hell are your shoes? Why the hell are you dressed like a chicken? They just added a natural chemistry. No wonder the wet bandits got popped. We're the sticky bandits now.
We're the sticky bandits. That's one of the few cases where I can accept the character becoming dumber by the sequel after all the brain damage he must have taken in the first one.
Well, with the gang constantly hit by bricks, I think after that he's going to be comatose, man.
Another funny backstage story. I don't think I've told Alex or Ingrid this. Well, Ingrid I just met, obviously.
Yeah.
But Alex is going to love this. Behind the scenes, they actually had a swear jar.
Oh no!
Oh god!
Chris Columbus basically told the adults, if you're going to be in front of the kids, you can't say any bad words. Like words. Pesci filled up the entire jar after the first day of shooting.
Oh, I think I heard about that.
And I'm awesome. Like, dude, it's like I think Chris and John just had to put him aside and said, "Dude, we know you just shot Goodfellas, but damn."
Yeah, come on.
But for him to fill it up that fast.
This is Joe Pesci we're talking about. If you ever seen a Scorsese movie, Robert De Niro, every time they were like in Raging Bull or Goodfellas or Casino.
Well, hey, that famous scene of him, like funny, like what? That was all an improv.
It always amazes me what is an improv like that, or De Niro and Taxi Driver going, "You're talking to me?"
Oh, so many of those are improv that people I think don't realize that.
The biggest impressive one for me and Rob is the fact that the entire 19 minutes when the Breakfast Club are just sitting around talking about their parents and getting emotional, that was all improv as well. John Hughes shot the movie in sequence, so they thought. So he told Judd Nelson, Molly Ringwald, Ali Seedy, Anthony Michael Hall, and Emilio Estevez, "You guys know your characters by now. You do the scene, and then I'll just shoot it."
Which makes it funnier when you get the nothing. Does that guy got anything better to do? You're like,
That's very cool.
So it amazes me also that they were that young. I mean, so the three of them were already in their 20s, but Ringwald and Anthony Michael Hall were still teenagers. So to get that kind of acting out of them, while also mixing in with a couple of jokes to break the tension is just astounding to me. They really were the Brat Pack really were some of the best collection of young actors you could have gotten in Hollywood, because teen movies were changing things to people like Hughes. Like they were starting to stop being, oh golly, gee whiz, and just basically like being the boy, being, basically
Mr. Cleanup kids.
I know, basically being degenerates and Generation X and talking about being disillusioned, and that's what led into the 80s and 90s and everything.
Right.
Yeah, but unfortunately, by deconstructing the archetypes, he invented new archetypes that are still being used in team.
Unfortunately.
Well, that's what's going to happen when you get something new, and then you're going to beat it over the head constantly.
It's like, I love what Eminem...
It's like the thing that's always inventive and groundbreaking is always going to be the thing that turns into tired tropes and stereotypes a few years down the road.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, as much as I love Seinfeld and Friends, every sitcom copies the formula from those two shows, and I can't stand it.
Yep.
I mean,
There's a reason why it's called the Seinfeld is unfunny trope on TV trope.
There you go.
There you go.
I mean, a lot of them are still funny. Like Always Sunny, like Louie, or Always Sunny in Philadelphia, or whatever. I know Alex loves Always Sunny.
Yeah, right. I think the thing is, like, even if there's like they bring these old things back in, I think if you at least try to put a new spin on it, or like try your hardest to, like I said, just try to put a new spin on it and make it like good, I think you can kind of overlook something like that. Where you're like, oh, I know this is something that's been done before, but there's just such a likability to it that you can't like. Hell, you can't get mad at it.
I think that's why I like when Schwarzenegger does back when he was the big action star. He realized, okay, I've done all the, I've done Terminator, I've done Conan, I'm this big star now, but people are going to parody me a lot. So why don't I beat him to the punch with Commando and Running Man, and eventually
Running Man, I don't think it was meant to be a parody.
But it kind of became like. It's a weird thing because it's based off a Stephen King short story, but it ended up being so bad it's good. They're like, just roll with it. And Arnold cannot resist his one-liners. What happened to Buzzsaw? He had to split.
To the point where obviously it reached its peak with Batman and Robin.
Oh boy!
It's like no. You get to Last Action Hero. Okay, some mixed opinions. You get to True Lies. Okay, you're back with Cameron. You're playing off Jamie Lee Curtis. It's actually funny and action-packed. Go, fine. And then, you get to Batman and Robin where you're just ready to kick some ice.
Exactly.
Ding! Never leave the cave without it. Meanwhile,
the bad critic. I know was he even in the comic book adaptation.
Meanwhile, somewhere in Chicago, Doug Walker is screaming.
No, Linkara killed the joke.
That's true. I forgot about that.
Yep.
Yeah, then in
funny
Batman,
because Linkara's the one who brought it back.
And then with Batman Forever, they had like Batman posing in Time magazine. I was like, what?
How? What?
Like,
I have so many questions right now. He's just in the middle of fighting a crook, and he's like, oh, picture time, ding.
Or someone's like, oh, I'm going to get up right after Batman, take a photo.
No, that's everybody now with their smartphones. They just immediately take them out. It's like in Thor. This is going on Facebook. Smile.
Oh, and you know what? I still love how that actress got her own show with Two Broke Girls.
Oh yeah, that show. Yeah.
Yeah, which can you believe how long that lasted?
Hey, a Big Bang Theory could get over 13.
Oh Lord!
There's hope for everybody.
Yeah, thankfully that's going to be ending soon. Although you still have what's the spinoff? Little Sheldon.
I hear that's really bad.
I think How I Met Your Mother ended at the right time in that regard.
I think the only problem they had was that they pre-recorded the last shot. That way they could have it before the kids aged out, and it kind of locked them in. Some people felt like, that would have been fine if they ended it when they thought they were going to end it before, but the show went on. It just didn't fit.
It was funny because I haven't seen that show, but I've always heard people make jokes about like, wow, what are those kids doing? You guys have been telling that story for a long time. Are they still alive?
I know.
All I know is Neil Patrick Harris was enjoying his resurgence of popularity thanks to that show, and is still making fun of himself today. Like every time he's in a hospital, somebody says, "You Doogie Howser, right?" Don't ask.
Howser MD. I remember best as the Music Meister.
Oh yeah, Batman Brave and the Bold. That was a good episode. A lot of great episodes.
But it was so hilarious because you had Christine with the director, the voice director.
Oh, it wasn't Andrea Romano this time.
Andrea Romano. She had worked with so many of these voice actors. She had no idea people like Gray and Kevin Michael Richardson were such great singers. They were thinking about actually getting professional singers, and they're like, "Hey, wait a minute, we could sing." John DiMaggio. Hey, wait a second, Andrea, we could sing.
With very few exceptions, Maurice LaMarche being admitting he can only do 4 octaves. The thing you'll find out about a lot of voice actors in cartoons, a lot of them are very good singers.
Yeah.
Some of them worked on stage off Broadway before they became actors full time.
As I like to point out to people, for example, when you look at during that Batman Brave and the Bold episode, actually, you have Gray Delisle and Tara Strong both singing. You could tell there's a slight difference between Gray and Tara, where you could tell Tara, it's like, oh yeah, she can sing. You could definitely tell Gray was a bit more, like professional with, like she's a professional singer.
Professional was the word I was going to use too, because she and Elizabeth Daly also had a couple of records to their name. Literally. Before in addition to the voice acting. Tara, yeah, she can sing, but she's not like a professional singer like they are.
Yeah, but again, you can definitely tell there's a slight difference, just a slight. Like, I don't know, like Gray, I think they would have just have that bravado into her singing, whereas Tara is kind of like just hitting the notes.
Yeah. Right. And just to set the record straight, Gray is Rob's waifu. No.
No.
Hey, we can name our. Hey, back to Sailor Moon. Jupiter and Mercury are my waifus. Guilty as charged.
Mercury is the best. Agree with you there.
That always surprised Tuski, the creator in Japan. She was very surprised how popular Mercury had gotten on both sides of the Pacific.
How could you not like her?
She's one of the few who like. Yeah, because she's just so nice, but not in that way where she becomes such a goody two shoes or anything. Because she is capable of anger and being a tough girl, despite having comparably the weakest attacks of the other with all the other girls.
Yeah, and she's also smart.
Well,
she's the brains of the group.
Well, originally she would think, according to the creator, she was supposed to be a cyborg. That's why she has a ridiculously high IQ. But that was later dropped, and she used.
Okay, what?
okay. This is actually new information to me. I did not know she was intended to be a cyborg.
I'm glad they dropped it.
Well, remember. Well, she was very interested. She was basically saying, okay, how do I mix everything I love about fantasy and outer space together and make a magical girl show out of it? Because she was originally working on, of course, Sailor V, which was the Sailor Venus. She worked on Sailor Venus first, but then they said, hey, can you do a spin-off? And she's like, I'll see what I can do. But then not a month after that, and this is why it wasn't turned into a Monster of the Week show. They said, okay, let's turn this into a TV show immediately. And she's like, wait a minute, what?
Hold on, wait a second.
It's one of those things. So that show overtook the manga like straight away. That's why it had to turn into a Monster of the Week Super Sentai type show.
And yet, of course, with that one, why when she did it, she just went right through the general's lickety split.
That's right. That's right. Whereas the anime had to build up to what's the general's quest? We do this for a couple episodes, then you kill them off.
Although,
yeah,
the big difference that one could say the anime might have done better was the death of Nephrite.
Gosh!
Which one was that? Was she the one?
The second one. The one was Molly.
Yeah, the one that fell in love with Nara.
Oh yes. Oh gosh, that still hurts.
Oh.
That still hurts.
Ingrid. Eric here cannot stand her English voice except for that scene.
Well, because they made her sound like a cross between Carla from Cheers and Joan Rivers. Brooklyn. She just had that annoying Brooklyn accent. It's like she's the stepsister of Laverne and Shirley, you know?
I know, but in that scene, it was like she was really committing to that moment.
That's what I get about Canadian voice actors. They're very hit or miss. Like sometimes you'll get a good actor, other times they're more wooden than a ventriloquist dummy.
Well, now I'm just thinking back to when Dragon Ball Z was first dubbed and they had the Ocean Crew from Canada. Oh boy! Aside from, I wasn't gonna say that, but
your father was also a great scientist. Yeah, I don't see it.
There's no way that can be right, can it? I think it's right.
I thought the guy who did Vegeta, I thought he was really good.
Well, so many people agree with that. He has that arrogant prince, and Chris Sabat, God bless him. He definitely has the angry, like he very much is a Saiyan, but he doesn't sometimes have the prince vibe to him.
Yeah, I feel like Brian did better for like the early Vegeta, where
the arrogant.
Chris did better for like the older, mellow out Vegeta.
Yeah, I think that's why I love Dragon Ball Bridge so much. How they basically have the perfect blend of the two.
Oh yeah, that's what.
Oh gosh, that show is just—it's so good. It's so funny.
I love a Bridge series. Like Alex.
Oh yes, a Bridge series like
me to Yu-Gi-Oh. I think the Yu-Gi-Oh Bridge, which is by Little Cabral, which is hilarious.
Well,
I feel like that was basically the things that kind of defined my teenage years, was just being into series like that.
I know, but it's still like pokes fun at that stuff, but it still shows why we love this stuff.
Exactly.
Indeed.
Well, I think it got best after they went to Namek, because that first season, even they openly admit it was too much of the force wall breaking humor and everything. No, by the time they got to Namek, they said, guys, we're not going to be able to keep going like this. We got to actually still follow true to the show, still condense it down, maybe try and tell stories that can fix issues, but still have some fun doing it at the same time, as opposed to doing nothing but, looky, isn't this stupid?
Yeah, because I think the thing they do really well, especially in the later seasons of DBZ or Bridges, they still like make fun of these things, but it's not like a wink nudge. It's sort of like in universe trying to explain it, and even it's still really funny.
Hey, that reminds me of another overtip the manga joke in Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridge when they get to the virtual world. Oh, Kaiba, funny. I don't remember this in the manga.
Yeah.
Although
also 4Kids is dead. Well, who's taking over? Who is Funimation?
Funimation.
Yeah, but I love
how in Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridge they kind of incorporated the stuff of their like YouTube channel getting taken down multiple times into the actual plot of the show.
I know, that's great.
Way to roll with the punches.
Yep, but I will say this though, I think the Cell Saga stuff with Dragon Ball Bridge is one of the best they've written.
I agree, even though some people are kind of like on the fence about Android 16 speech. I'm like, I don't know. I think it was different, and it kind of fits with this universe as opposed to the actual Dragon Ball Z, which was a lot more serious. And these characters obviously weren't as goofy.
Well, yeah, and of course, really, especially it was building up with what they were trying to do was Gohan, which was perfect pacifism is fine to a point. Especially it's a case where it's like, okay, and how much farther are you going to keep doing the? Oh yeah, I survived. I kept, everyone else is dead, but I'm still alive, and I kept to my morals. Pat on the back.
Yeah.
It's like, that's not going to work. And at the same time, no, you shouldn't just let go and go all nuts so either. I think, but that's why I felt was interesting about that. They made it a complicated issue.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm glad you guys brought that up, because the fact that they are such big fans, they're like, guys, we could very easily butcher us. Let's not. It's the Cell Saga. It's the thing. The other arcs may have brought the DBC fans to the beach. The Cell Saga made them stay at the beach.
Well, although then they had to put up with the longest arc.
You interrupted me.
Sorry.
So let's we got to bring our A game. We got to do everything we did before, but either turn it up to 11 or break the rules. Girls. And again, I'm glad to hear it was a
Yep. Now, are you all interested and excited for them doing the fact they are doing the Boo Saga?
This could be very interesting or very stupid. Probably both. Because it's Boo.
You have to have the right mix of interesting and stupid, or it's not a good abridged series. There are rules about these things.
Yeah, there are certain rules that one must abide by in order to make it a bridge series.
This is Boo and Mr. Satan we're talking about. So,
they already got Mr. Satan. Trust me, they already got Mr. Satan down pat. I just hope they're going to keep Sarah Ann Williams, who did Vidal's little cameo in a bridge. I hope that means she's sticking around. I don't want it to be a case where, just for that, they're going to have someone else do it.
Yeah, I really liked her. She's Peacock from Skullgirls, right?
Yes,
Skullgirls? Yeah.
and she's also she was Chica in those FNAF musicals.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Ingrid,
man!
yeah. Did you ever see that, Ingrid? The FNAF musicals?
Um, surprisingly, despite being a fan of the series, I don't think I have. Now
Yeah,
I
it's
feel like I
fine.
should lose my. I feel like I feel like my fan badge just got revoked just now.
Hey, but
would you step up to the court, please?
I know. No, well, it was by oh jeez, I'm just blanking their name right now. Random Encounters.
Right.
The guys who do a bunch of others, like they did the Baldi's Basic musical, which
my
became their
God.
most popular musical.
Oh my God, Robert right here, he showed me some videos about this crazy quote unquote survival horror game. I've become obsessed with it ever since because it's so batshit crazy. Baldi's Basics.
Oh, speaking of Baldi, real quick, Alex, there's a YouTube channel I think you'd be interested in, and that I found a couple months ago.
What's that?
And he did a bendy video, so you're gonna. Hey, this will be interesting. It's called Saturday Morning Acapella by a YouTube channel called Dudes, and basically this one guy that does a lot of things separately, but he's a one-man acapella show that does all these cartoon and video game themes. Names acapella.
I think I heard of it. I don't know if I should probably look that up,
but he did a bendy song, and you can actually
Well,
buy.
We were talking about Baldi though.
Baldi. Sorry. But he can do but his songs are also on iTunes and Google Play, surprisingly. I guess he makes a little bit of cash off of them. But I tuned into him and I'm like, okay, he's doing everything. He's done Ghostbusters, he's done Thundercats, he's done Rugrats, he's done Phineas and Ferb, he's done Count Duckula, he's done Recess, he's done the Cowboys of New Mesa.
Oh, New Mesa.
Code of the West.
Yeah, there's this other channel too that I think you would really like, Eric. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's like pretty much, I don't remember the name of it, but it's pretty much like something meets metal. It's like Super Mario Brothers meets metal.
I've heard Batman meets metal.
Yeah, it's really awesome. You should check that. Anyone listening to us should check that out.
Those are still in here.
Now we got far watching and far in the chat, so what the heck?
I don't know who's still in the chat. Anyone who's in here listening, give a shout out.
Yeah.
Yeah, because for
tell
some
us
reason
you're alive.
I know for some reason I can't tell who's in the participants in here at all.
Send help.
Send help. We need your help.
Okay, yeah, but I'm a baseball player now.
Right.
Oh God.
Alien.
And I'm a Shakespeare. Michael, it's Stan. Stan Paul. Late night, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, Newman. Hello.
I still cannot believe he was evil Emperor Zurg in the Buzz Lightyear Star Command.
Yeah.
But yes, what I don't know is how close you are to accomplishing my plan.
Kind of an outdoor voice there. Did you ever see that, Ingrid? Buzz Lightyear Star Command?
It was the Buzz.
If I did, it completely slips my memory.
It was by the guys who would eventually go on to do Kim Possible.
Yeah.
I did see a bit of it. I remember liking it.
Yeah, it was a very
I think I have to go check that out.
Yeah, Buzz Light. Yeah, a lot of people who worked on Kim Possible had worked on this show first. Basically, after Toy Story 2, they were like, "Hey guys, why don't we just make what the Buzz Lightyear show would look like in the Toy Story universe, and let's air it on UPN and Disney's One Saturday Morning." And they said, and Disney got the green light to it, and basically Bob Schooley and Steve Loader and all these other guys got together and said, "Let's basically make this very parody version of like Thundercats, Silverhawks, He-Man, and such, but still make a pretty cool Buzz Lightyear action show the kids can enjoy the process." And they got a lot of great comedic talent behind it, like Patrick Warburton and Nicole Sullivan.
Who would go on to do She-Go.
Right. Like I said, they all went on to Impossible later, so that's why that show ended up a very funny parody as well. It's like, well, number 3, I know 15 different styles of Kung Fu.
You know, still one of my favorite She-Go lines is?
Golden Touch.
Not just that.
Which one?
About her and cakes.
All right. Okay. 2 things about cakes. I don't bake them and I don't pop out of them.
Wow. You got away with that in a kid's show.
No. The one bit that they can't believe they got away with was, this is entirely Nicole Sullivan's delivery. Everything else is perfectly fine about it. Basically, she had dealt with this masseuse named Midas, and then later on, she's wanted to say he has the golden touch, but the way she said it, it sounds so dirty. You're like, what kind of touch are we talking about here?
Oh boy!
But yeah, it was the way just her delivery went. It was just like, yeah, he's got the golden touch. You're like, Nicole, and again, everything else was fine, but Nicole made it so wrong.
Yeah.
Top 11 things you can't take. You got away with on a kid show. Number 1. And I found prints. No. Fingerprints. I don't think so.
Yeah. Although, you know what I still say is one, Ingrid, you're not going to believe this. The one case of how the hell did they miss that, I would have to say, is the Kim Possible intro, because it kept re-airing the opening bit from the pilot episode where Kim's flipping towards the camera and you could see her panties.
What?
Granted, it was in her cheerleader outfit, but geez.
Yeah, she's flipping over, and then you realize, wait, that's the only time she ever did a straight to the camera flip.
That's true.
How did they miss that?
I think little boys are having many questions right now.
Now, granted, it was smaller in the intro because it's like that little strip going down or whatever, but you could
you'd have to hit the slow motion button to find it.
Yeah, but still, though, it's still there. You're like, wait a sec, wait.
It's like when you tape an episode of the A-Team and then you hit slow motion. And you're like, wait, that's a stuntman. That looks nothing like Benedict at all.
I know, but at the same time, no, it's one. I will say this though as well. They took it out when they finally did the revival of the 4th season,
and yet they kept it amazes me what gets kept. And or also SpongeBob doesn't have hair, or
does he?
Or just half of Rocco's Modern Life. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, I know. Just pretty much. You could do a whole list on all the stuff in Rocco's Modern Life.
No. Rocco and Ren and Stimpy.
and Ren and Stimpy.
Because whenever John Kay looks at a lot of modern cartoons, he says, "Yeah, a lot of people are Ren and Stimpy light." Light. I can't see that. I can't unsee that when I look at SpongeBob. I mean, Steve Hillenberg, God rest his soul.
That was a blow.
Did a lot of work with Joe Murray on and storyboarding on him with Rocco. Same with Dan Povenmire and Swampy Marsh before they created Phineas and Ferb. They won the Emmy, Rocco's Soul Emmy Award for the musical episode that talked about environmentalism.
I love that one.
Because they wrote all the songs like spring cleaning.
He doesn't know the word. Shut up!
It's always great to follow Carlos Alazaki on Twitter, because whenever he does
when he's not being all...
No. Dude, there are worse ones than him, trust me.
Yeah, no, you're right. That's what I'm saying.
Whenever he's not doing that or talking about international soccer, he'll do a video where he's like, "Hi, I'm Rocco Lullaby, and here I am outside Los Angeles. They're doing, wait, I smell fairy spine there."
I cannot wait for that special.
The new Rocco's movie. I'm super. Rocco is probably my favorite of the Nicktoons originally. I'm just so excited for that.
I think Rocco was one of my. I mean, it's because of the Forbidden Fruit. My mom was like, "You are not watching that," and yet my dad would sneak watch Ren and Stimpy, and I think to myself, we have a TV downstairs, and I always had to hide the fact I was watching. You can't do that on television.
I don't know what made them think that it was that appropriate compared to something else, because that show's it's fine in its own right, but it's not like super inappropriate.
Eddie, hey, wait a minute.
They shot kids. They were playfully shoot kids.
Right.
Well, okay. Well, that's one thing.
Well, and half the stuff in Bart's Burgers. I heard that.
Yeah, and deny it.
I'm checking thought. Oh, funny thing about Barth. I made that joke when I was rewatching.
Ingrid, do you know about? Remember, you can't do that on television.
It was the one that introduced the green slime to Nickelodeon.
A little variety show.
It was a little variety show, kind of like Laugh-In or Second City TV.
Yeah, do you know about it?
I think I've heard references to it, but I don't think I've actually seen it like in the flesh, as it were.
No, we did back when it was on YouTube, but it was basically a Canadian sketch show, and believe it or not, Alanis Morissette was a cast member when she was 12
Oh
years
god!
Yeah, that's right.
I'll just put it this way: you look at her then, you look at her now, you cannot tell. She's like her face is completely different.
I think we lost somebody.
No.
Ingrid.
Ingrid, are you there?
No, we
Where'd
lost
you
her.
go?
Hold on.
Ah, shoot.
Hold on. You guys keep going. I'm gonna try and get her back.
Well, that was my other idea. and we could just talk about Nickelodeon memories because that was our as kids.
Yeah, actually, I thought of an interesting topic. I'm sure when Ingrid comes back,
Oh,
can
Kingdom
add to it,
Hearts.
No. But this is thinking for all of us, really. It's what was the first R-rated movie you ever saw?
R-rated? Good grief. I can't remember because I wasn't allowed to see R-rated movies until I was like 16, I think. Like,
Yeah, because I was able to see one early, and it was I easily know it was South Park.
Oh,
Park, the
I would
movie.
say the first one I saw that was at least a TV version of it, not in theaters, was Terminator.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to remember, was it a comedy or an action movie? Because I think it might have been both, or one of the because I think it was one of the two, but I can't remember what it is now. You know what I think it was? It was the Rambo movies.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Sylvester Stallone, because I was like, okay, I've seen Rocky. Now I get to see it. Now I want to see Rambo.
Yeah, you just want to see him kill everybody.
But, well, in the first movie, it didn't kill at all because it was more of a psychological action drama. But, but the second and third movies, yeah, he went back to Vietnam and Afghanistan and basically saved his friend, the POWs. Hey, Murdoch. Get you.
I know, but I saw South Park in theaters when I was a kid. It was awesome. It was like, and I was just seeing all these new things for the first time. I'm like, whoa, what's going on here?
Shut your mouth, Uncle.
Shut your ugly face, Uncle.
I know, blame Canada.
Blame Canada.
She's trying to get back in.
Okay.
What would Brian Botano do if he was here today? He'd probably kick an ass or two.
Sue's a super bitch. Such a super bitch. Shut your mouth.
Crazy kid. Yeah, it's basically I love the reviews because they basically said peanuts on acid. That's what the show is.
That is accurate.
Yeah, I could see that. Someone who loves peanuts, I could see that.
And they even said Cartman is the Archie Bunker of the 21st century.
Oh boy, yeah.
No, Kitty, that's my Popeye. Mom, Kitty's being a dildo.
Yeah. I know you haven't played it, Eric, but Alex, with the South Park games.
Oh, those are really good. I feel like they do such a good job of making fun of the RPG elements, but still like having the same comedic stuff that we love.
I know, but have you played the DLC missions for Fractured Butthole?
No, I haven't yet.
Oh, they're good.
It did take me a little bit to realize what Fractured Butthole was a joke.
Oh, really?
Yeah, go. That's it. We're out of here. Yeah, go ahead, DC Comics.
Yeah, so long, DC Comics. It's all better making fun. They make fun of it already. What?
It's like
they're starting their own. franchises. So we don't go on. So you don't come in until phase 3.
And like, we can't have the black kid and the guy don't say 3.
It's basically that whole game is basically what I call just some random guy to the extreme.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad he's back doing live streams and stuff. Hi, I'm Marvel, and I'm a DC, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, get this. Oh, hey, Ingrid's back.
Hey.
Hi.
Is she back?
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
For some reason, I disconnected.
Where's...
That's all right. It happens. But interesting fact I just found out.
You interrupted my joke. Sorry, you've been disconnected.
But hey, interesting fact. Turns out it's just some random guy. It was not their first choice for the Death Battle Superman.
Oh, really?
Linkara was. He couldn't fit it around or something, but he regrets it.
I am a man.
But yeah, originally I know I gotta say. I think that was for the best. I think it's just some random guy. It's much more Superman-like than Linkara could have been.
I kind of agree with that. I feel like his it's some random guy's voice kind of fit more with Superman.
Especially when you do it with Masako. I think if you did Linkara, it'd be too much close to Masako.
Yeah.
I think you're right. The funny thing about that is back when he had the Just Some Random store, I downloaded a couple of the commentaries.
Yeah.
And he even mentions how with Superman, and he's like, well, I didn't want to be, I love Superman. I think basically with the voice, I did want to sound him mighty, but I always wanted to tone it back just a little bit so he didn't sound too goofy and over the top. So that when the dramatic, we had no idea what a storyline was going to be when we did the after hours. And when me and Random Girl started coming up with a story, we were that's when my chops, I think, came in. Man, because I do teach professional voice acting in classes. This is my
Really now? That's interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah, he does like accents too, I believe. He does training for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, yes, sir, in McKellen. This is how I do Magneto in my videos.
Yeah, I mean that just shows why all of his voices are really good for those characters.
Oh yeah, and Deadpool. I think next to Nolan Norris, he's one of the most and Ryan Reynolds, obviously, he's one of the most perfect voices.
Hey,
Okay, so he's a douche and he's in a bag.
Come on, people!
The jokes practically write themselves.
That is one of the best jokes.
It really is.
Please don't tell anyone I web myself.
And just Defoe, Goblin. No, wait, there's only one. Defoe.
Defoe!
Little help.
Yep. Little help here.
I mean, you just get that's what Hulk's still working on other new guy. The Thing. What a revolved development this is. Ow! What? Mosquito.
And of course, with one of my favorites, fine, I'll do it myself. Hey, wait a minute, I was here first! With Darkseid. Oh, hey Alex, have you seen the Death Battle?
I did. It was good.
Wait. Eric, have you seen it yet?
Not yet.
Never mind.
No, wait, I overheard my nephew, and I think I know who won.
Yep, who you think?
Well, you were disappointed, so I know Thanos.
Yeah, hey, Ingrid, do you watch Death Battle? Ingrid, do you watch Death Battle?
You know what Death Battle is.
I have watched it every now and again, but I don't follow it closely or anything.
Okay. Yeah, and the recent one, yes, Darkseid wins, and their defining reason is, whereas Thanos needs the gauntlet to actually be a god, Thanos and Darkseid is a god.
Well, they called them the new gods.
Hey. Can't argue with logic like that.
Well, that and also the gauntlet is perfectly fine in the Marvel dimension, but as JLA Avengers, which is canon, made it clear as it is useless in the DC universe where Thanos can actually do damage. That's what it would be. He does the snap. Darkseid just keeps his physical form in the Marvel universe, which is just simply an avatar, kept fading away, but Darkseid just kept coming back. So in other words, he could do jack shit in the other dimension.
Yeah, I kind of even called it before the battle began because I'm seeing all these facts about Darkseid. I'm just like,
Yeah, I felt like there was some facts they ignored a little.
Well, it's also the thing you told about, there's the Speed Force in the DC universe. Once the Flash is in the Marvel universe, he can't run worth a damn.
Exactly.
Which means that Quicksilver pretty much is the defining speedster, quote unquote, in Marvel.
Well, yeah,
that was quite an interesting crossover with the JLA Avengers thing, because it kind of just shows how the characters would react in different worlds.
I give props to any artist who could do crowd shots like that.
Like George Perez.
Oh yeah, let's just say the crowd positioning is just something once you get more than 5 characters in there, it's just how do I fit everything in without it being too busy? I mean, I'm obviously only a hobbyist artist, but still, I can give mad props to anyone who can make a crowd scene with more than 7 people work really, really well.
Yeah, although in George Perez's case, he's been completely, it kind of bit him in the butt at one point.
Oh, really?
Why's that?
That's when he was doing, he would always used to, hold on. He would always, do these crowd shows, someone would give him a handful of characters, he would add a whole lot more. Then finally, when Jeff Johns got his hand on utilizing him for Legion of Surreal World, he gave him all these characters. He's like, I didn't want to actually do this many, right?
No, poor guy.
I always put him as the second best comic book artist, right under Jack Kirby, just for some of those crowd shots alone, but also his artwork is right up there. Kirby, I'll always consider the master because he did everything better than anybody else. And he's innovator of everything we know about comics today. Along with Joe Simon and Stan Lee and everything. But Perez, I put him right up there. Then Steve Ditko and Jim Lee and everybody else. It counts, but that's how highly I think of his artwork from what I've seen.
Dude, I still say he's one of the best artists, period.
There you go. That's why I put him number 2 under Kirby. Teen Titans, Crisis on Infinite Earths, brilliant artist. But yeah. By the way, getting back to Death Battle, and we talk about anime voice actors, it's amazing the connections they have by getting a lot of these voice actors or fan actors like Team 4-Star to come in and voice the characters for them.
Yeah,
because I remember, because I remember one with the Tony Stark and Lex Luthor battle.
That was the guy who did
Android 17.
Yeah.
I think he did a pretty good job.
I thought his was perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, this is the main reason I also want to get back into anime, because Ruby keeps showing off all the current voice actors that are doing anime right now. Like, they've gotten Chris Sabat, they've gotten Yuri Urenthal, they've gotten everyone from Fairy Tail to voice a character.
And they've had some people from Rooster Teeth being Fairy Tail.
That's true. So cross promotion there. That's bad. And just the people they've got for the new show, Gemma. They've got Michael B. Jordan. They've got David Tennant. They got
Really, they got Michael B. Jordan.
Well, no, it's his production company's helping out with it.
Oh my God! Wow.
Yeah, and you got Dakota Fanning.
They got Dakota Fanning voicing a character. Yeah.
But dude, see what this. David frickin' Tennant.
The best doctor. Best doctor of the modern.
Arguably to many people.
No, I know you're a Matt Smith boy, but I'm just saying it right now.
Oh, I love Tennant too.
Oh yeah, but Matt's your doctor.
Well, yeah. Well, that's because he was my first that I watched consistently.
Well, that's me with Tom Baker of the classic doctors.
Right. Well, classic doctor, it's Baker all the way.
Well, but Patrick Troughton comes close. That was the one from the Cybermen.
Yeah, for me, comes close is Paul McGann.
Oh yeah.
Mostly because of the Big Finish.
The Big Finish audios, yeah. And it makes it seem that Britain radio never died.
Yeah, you gotta give them props for that. Say what you want about Britain, the fact that they still keep it going. You know?
Yeah. With British dramas and stuff, yeah.
Yeah. But
speaking of Christmas specials, I'm now making a tradition every year. Merry Christmas, Mr. Bean.
Oh,
you put the turkey on yet?
Yeah, no, just a minute.
Even if you ever watched Mr. Bean's Christmas or anything with Mr. Bean,
you know who Rowan Atkinson is, first.
Oh gosh,
he does. I think Rowan Atkinson is slowly becoming one of the bigger comedic influence, along with like Robin Williams and George Carlin and stuff. Yeah, he's a very funny guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like that and Blackadder. Yeah, Merry Christmas. It's a fist. And the best part is it's a present you can use again. And again. And again. And again.
I still have to watch that.
Yeah. I've seen a little bit of Blackadder. Like Monty Python, you got to be a British history buff, but even without it, it's just really, really funny.
Oh, yeah.
The comedic timing you have to use on a show like that needs to be impeccable.
This is an ex-parrot!
Well, I
didn't say about the dirty knife.
Takes a rope and ran away. No, I didn't.
honestly,
Sorry.
I was basically doomed to be into Monty Python from a combination of seeing Monty Python and the Holy Grail at a summer camp when I was a kid, and the obscene amount of Monty Python references in RuneScape.
Yeah, that's the best summer camp ever. Yeah.
As long as it wasn't a D&D camp, because they have made rules in D&D campaigns. You are banned from making any Holy Grail jokes.
Oh my God.
Well, what about the Holy Hand Grenade? Bring out the Holy Hand Grenade.
I wouldn't even have had the opportunity to do that since I only started playing D&D in August of this year.
What do you mean? Is it behind the rabbit? It
is the rabbit.
Yeah, that's like trying to play Stairway to Heaven in the store in Wayne's World. No stairway. Denied.
No, denied.
No, you play the next song everybody overplays at the beginning. You play Smoke on the Water by Deep Purple.
Exactly.
I know.
Smoke on the Water. Deep Purple. This is me and my music of once again, this is something I have to be a completionist. The Deep Purple albums are really, really good early 70s rock and roll. Girl, I can see why they're considered the godfathers of metal.
Mm-hmm.
Black Sabbath. Sabbath and Ozzy.
Absolutely.
Right.
You hear Smoke on the Water, you hear Highway Star, you're like, so many freaking kick-ass guitar songs.
Yeah, if I change the topic a little bit, what's been as far as the games this year, not counting an obvious one that I'm sure some people want to talk about, what would you say has been the biggest disappointment in video games? Fallout 76 does not count.
I knew you were gonna say that. I haven't
That does
played it
not count.
anyway.
I'm not sure. Again, I just use the
Uh,
usually use the Achievement Hunter guys to keep up, and I keep forgetting. And I only watch the podcast live, so I'm not sure what they considered games to be a disappointment.
All right.
you had to make it hard, Rob.
Come on, no, I just took away the very easy one.
Yeah, I probably would have said that regardless, even if I haven't played. But no, oh, geez.
Okay, it could be a disappointment. That doesn't mean it was bad.
I'm looking at my games right now.
It didn't live up to the hype, I guess.
Right.
Yeah, no, I get you. I guess. Well, I wouldn't want to.
It's trying to remember also what came out this year and wasn't from near the end of 17.
Well, I guess.
Oh gosh, most of the games I played this year didn't even come out this year, so this question is even harder for me.
Oh.
Well, I feel a little better. No, no. I think, but I still like this game. I think just maybe I think it was maybe a bit too flawed. It was Soul Calibur 6.
Oh.
Just because I feel like it was still really good, but I guess my only problem with it, like the main campaign went on too long.
All right.
But then again, no. Even though I still think Smash Brothers is probably my second favorite game of the year, the main campaign in that one I felt went on way too long.
Oh, I've been hearing so many people say that.
I still think it was really good, but I thought the main campaign was just kind of like, I felt if you just shortened it, just make it a little short campaign, it would have been okay. But then they added a whole new villain into it just because, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, we got another whole villain to take care of, and then we have to fight them both now, and so, it just went on too long.
Speaking of Soul Calibur, for those of you who are still listening, Alex got a Dreamcast recently.
I did. It was at the store I work at. It's I tested it out, and I have quite a few games for it. I'm still collecting. I have Quake 3 Arena, Skies of Arcadia, Sonic Adventures 1 and 2, and Soul Calibur, of course.
Oh, I gotta say this with Sonic Adventures. Yeah, the Dreamcast version, the mouse flaps. Blah, 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 blah.
Here's the thing. I think Sonic Adventure, the first one, I like Sonic Adventure 2 just fine, but the first one, I kind of see it as like a guilty pleasure because it's so goofy that I can't help but love it.
Well, I agree.
How does the gameplay hold up?
I think the thing is, I'm gonna play the original Dreamcast version because the thing I'm always hearing is that it's the Dreamcast version is the definitive one because like the HD updates, they add more glitches to it. So I want to play. When I get a chance, I want to play it again just to see if that fact is true. That maybe that the gameplay itself is still good, really good, but like the story, it's hilarious, and especially with the mouth movements the voice acting, like Knuckles. Oh
no.
Well, you were very lucky that it fit perfectly as the replacement Peter Pan world in your Kingdom Hearts fan.
Are you okay? You okay, dude?
Yeah, sorry. I guess it was forbidden of me to say, "Oh no."
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no. And watch out! You're gonna crash! Ah!
Although I still say that the guy they had from Robotnik from Sonic Adventures all the way to Heroes, may he rest in peace, was the best.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I still say he had that perfect blend of being evil, but at the same time, like a madman.
Being hilarious.
Yeah, but Mike Pollock is still really good.
Oh, he is very good. Although, this is why we can't have nice things. There's a reason why he no longer does, people ask him to do a voice because they kept asking him to do this stupendous as usual. Just so then he realized why they were doing, and they're like, that's it, I'm done.
Yeah, that's right. But although I did see in a clip from that Sonic Boom cartoon, they did have him saying it correctly as snooping around as usual.
Snooping around as usual. I think in that case, he's like, okay, as long as they get to do it right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Instead of just becoming a meme after watching it in the 80s and 90s so many years later. It's like when you rediscover the Zelda CDI games.
Oh my god.
My boy. Like, you dare bring light to my castle? You must die.
That's supposed to be Ganon? It looks like a joke.
We're back to the Angry Video Game Nerd, and boy howdy, James Rolfe has made a comeback as the nerd. They're the best.
I love it how he does a few episodes throughout the year, and then he just goes all out for the last few months.
Yeah, especially in bringing Macaulay Culkin back again to play all the old Home Alone games.
I think that was just perfect timing.
Yeah. But him being the pizza boy at first. Hey, wait a minute.
Yeah, he didn't think about it at all.
One of my friends had a Super Nintendo, so I remember playing that Home Alone 2 game.
I totally remember the Home Alone 2 game. The thing he didn't bring up, which I thought was hilarious about the Home Alone 2 game, is that Kevin, if you get a certain power up, you do these crazy flips that I'm like, I didn't know Kevin McAllister was that athletic. Holy crap.
The stuff they have to do with when you transition to a video game, and you're like, okay, I don't remember any of this, but I'm still having fun.
It's like some things like you can understand, like with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's like, okay, they have their ninja power, they have their weapons and stuff. You can do a lot of things with that in a video game. But Home Alone, it's like,
what the hell?
It's like, when did Macaulay Culkin get jacked like that? Like, seriously, he's dead.
I think he worked out for a little while, then he got drugged up and skinny and bearded, but he looks pretty decent now.
Oh yeah. And I'm still, the fact that he's embracing so much, he's like, might as well. I've grown out of my child star jadedness. It's time to, again, if William Shatner and Adam West could have done it at their age, I'm going to do it now. Yeah, but at the same time, he doesn't really do it like, that over the top, he's being himself.
He's just playing it straight, like, hey Google, Google.
Oh, Siri. It was Siri. Was it Siri?
No, it was Google. Google, give me good macaroni and cheese recipes.
But no, it's like that's like it's a thing that always plagues child actors and all that stuff. And I'm glad to see that he's sort of moved on from that and he's doing his own thing now. And it kind of makes me feel good about that. And there are a lot of other people out there too, I think, these days, like with Mara Wilson, who's sort of found her own way and is doing a lot of great stuff. She's gone
political too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I still have to read her book though.
Oh yeah. Well, you know what I have to say is one of those, if I'm getting back to games for a second, one game I have to say I'm glad I dodged?
What's that?
That Quiet Man game.
Never heard of it.
It was basically like it's basically this one that's like an FMV game, kind of, sort of, where basically it's a guy you're playing as a deaf guy.
I think, what is it, like trying to be like one of those old, the games where it's a full motion video, like the early
Sega something like that. Except
I heard about that. I'm like, why is this coming back?
Right, and I will just say another game that I think is a big disappointment was Underworld Ascendant.
Okay,
that was supposed to be like a bring back of the old Underworld first person action role playing games like Underworld, Ultima Underworld.
Oh, right, yeah.
And it was done by Other Side, which was Warren Spector involved, his company. It was supposed to be all that. From what I've heard, it's shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
What the heck happened to Warren Spector? He was like doing such great things, but then Epic Mickey too, and then.
Well, actually, from what I understand, he's the studio director. The other guy, another person who's a co-founder of Looking Glass Studio, is the creative director. So he's not directly involved.
Okay.
From what I heard, and there's what they working on System Shock 3.
Oh.
Yeah. By the way, I thank Warren Spector's Disney knowledge for getting me reminding me. Oh yeah! In addition to DuckTales and the Scrooge McDuck and Donald Duck comics, I want to check out the Mickey Mouse comic strip. Because Mickey has a lot more personality and is this big adventure dude.
Yep. I'm just going through all the games that came out just this year alone, and we're on PC anyway. And not that many actually that I could think of that were bad.
Yeah, I know. There's just a lot of big hits this year.
I think
a lot of them were just either games that had bad updates, things like that. Oh.
There's a lot of people out there, and PC is winning the master race.
I know. Oh, yeah. Because all these consoles are becoming PC.
Yeah.
Not that PC, though. PlayStation 4 is coming close with the censorship of nudie games, but that's beside the fact. We meant PC as in computers, of course.
I know. The PC.
When I could basically do the same thing on a Blu-ray player as I can on my nephew's Xbox 360 when he's not playing Madden, then yeah, I think it's become a computer. Even though I already own a Microsoft computer.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm looking through the list too. I'm like, yeah, there were a lot of really good games this year.
I think they just. Hey, I'm glad everybody was on a roll this year. Like,
yeah. No, I'm not. I'm
Yeah,
saying that's a good thing. I'm saying that's a
really
good thing.
wanted
like
that chance.
2018, everything just clicked.
I know.
Yeah, I think if you really wanted to stretch it, I'm disappointed that I'm going to have to wait 2 to 5 years to get the rest of Deltarune, and that's about it.
Oh God.
Deltarune. Oh, I will say this though.
But yeah, that's about the only thing I can think of, and that's just things considered.
I would say this though. One game that surprised me how well it was the Witcher card game, Gwent and Thronebreaker.
Ah.
It's basically it's the Witcher series.
True.
Yeah. Actually, what's the main character's name in The Witcher? I still have to play that.
Oh geez, I just forgot.
Because he's in Soul Calibur 6, which was really cool. Actually.
Oh, I know.
Oh, you say that, him being in Soul Calibur 6. I remember when Soul Calibur 2 or 3 came out. Like every system had an exclusive character.
Yeah, I remember
it was too. Gerald, yeah.
Yeah, Link, of course, was on the GameCube. The Xbox you could play as Spawn, the comic book character, and on PlayStation 2, it was one of the characters from the Tekken games.
The guy with the big eyebrows.
Yeah, him.
Yeah, and I think was it Soul Calibur 3? I think Yoda or Darth Vader was in one.
That's right. I remember when I worked at Toys R Us, the video game section had a big cardboard cutout of saying Soul Calibur 3 or 4, and there was Vader there lightsaber dueling with Yoda.
Yep.
I'm like, okay, that's awesome.
Geez, Vader holding Soul Edge and Soul Calibur.
I know, all too easy. You will give in to the dark side.
Oh, you want to know another surprise game I highly recommend is? Just double checking what the name was of it. It was. Where did it go? Don't you hate when you scrolled up and you're like, wait, what? Oh, The Return of the Obra Dinn. It's by the guys who did Paper Please.
Oh, okay. I know Papers, Please.
Yeah, it's basically a game where you're supposed to go around on a ship that came adrift and and figure out what happened to the crew by finding them. You have a little device that allows you to rewind to a frozen moment in time, and then look around who was there, witnesses, and basically pinpoints through timelines and everything where everyone was.
Okay, that sounds interesting.
But it's done. But the graphic
really
style,
neat sounding.
but the graphic style is very it's done intentionally to look like the old Amiga old Macintosh type of computer screen.
It's like what are we playing? Load Runner? Number Munchers?
Exactly.
That takes me back.
Oh, and anyone here play Mega Man 11?
I have.
My nephew wants to play that. He has the Mega Man Classic Collection and the Mega Man X Collection. I'm like, hey, come on, man, give me the controller. I want to I'll show you how to beat Mega Man 2. I'm a master now.
I gotta say this, despite everything with EA and all that, you know what I think would get the list of worst company of, video game company of 2018?
What's that?
Telltale. After how they went out, they fucked up royally.
It was at that snafu. Can't take situation egg. All.
I'm so glad that Walking Dead.
Eric, come back.
Eric,
where'd you go?
Oh, we lost him. Hold on.
This stuff happens.
Yep. But
So.
There he is.
Hello.
There you are. We lost you now.
I accidentally clicked another link. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'm back.
But that other thing was, I'm so glad Walking Dead, the final season, this game finished.
Yeah.
I cannot wait for the
because a lot of people worked hard on it, and a lot of fans really get into it. So
I'm one of those.
Yeah, absolutely. I still have to catch up.
I will just say this though, I'm so glad Lily came back from season 1.
Oh, okay.
There was a time where there was a month of phone calls from Rob where Telltale Games and Heather's the Musical.
Yeah.
That's all
I know.
Come into my candy store.
But you want to know one of the biggest surprise of a game that I cannot believe worked? how they took Final Fantasy 15 and actually put it on an iOS device very well.
Oh, really?
Oh, no fooling.
Yep. You hear that, Ingrid?
Ooh, yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
really
but they did it. They
interesting.
basically they obviously they don't have the advanced graphics, obviously.
Yeah.
Instead, they actually made a like little chibi style version of them, but it still tells everything straight. Everything, the sound and vocal stuff is still there. It's just playing out very differently.
Oh, that's another.
With different graphics.
Oh, that's another remake everyone's psyched about. They're glad for the Spyro trilogy, but they're really excited for Final Fantasy VII remake remastered.
Yeah, it's
Whenever
gonna,
that comes out.
I know it's gonna be a while, but
I'm surprised they haven't done that yet.
Oh, they're
Like,
working
what's
on
taken
it.
So long?
they're still. It's supposed to be episodic, which I don't know if I'm doubt. I mean, I guess it's different, but I don't know. I feel like it kind of makes the world feel a little disconnected. It doesn't feel like complete and whole. But then again, you had to put 3 discs in to play the game, so I don't know.
You had to have
Yeah.
you needed 3 discs just to play the original Metal Gear Solid. Otacon, what's happening?
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
No, but Metal Gear Awesome 2. Ugh.
Man, it's
I
amazing how far games have come. You used to have to put in 3 discs, and now you just have a console in your pocket.
That's
Yeah,
true.
although I can't wait for Resident Evil 2 remake. It's coming out in January.
Resident Evil. Now, there's a series I want to sink my teeth back into is Resident Evil, actually.
Yeah, but I cannot wait for that.
Yeah, I guess if talking about games we're all looking forward to next year, besides Kingdom Hearts 3, obviously. I'm looking forward to Doom Eternal.
Oh yeah! Oh hell yes!
Hey, your Doom series, I heard, is coming along nicely.
Oh, it is. I'm getting close to the end. I still have some things to do, but I got sick the other day, so I kind of had to hold it off on it. But
Right.
Getting back to Death Battle, I love Boomstick basically going crazy whenever when the BFG came out. Gimme!
Yeah, hold it, Boomstick.
That's that guy. It's not take that. Despite its popularity, it's not his Doom guys also.
Yeah, but Alex, you know what it is, right?
what?
The Unmaker is what they say is his ultimate weapon.
Oh, right.
Maker. Gimme.
I guess so. But if
compared to the BFG, it is more powerful technically.
Yeah.
There's just one catch. It cannot take not what it's meaning it's unfallible. Take that doesn't work on anything that's not from hell. Damn it!
That's why they couldn't use it in the fight because it would have been useless against Master Chief.
Yeah.
Right. Well, it's no use anyway since you already have a backpack of cool guns to kill things with. Give me the BFG any day.
The big fucking gun.
9,000, right? Or is it 3,000?
9,000.
9,000.
That's why in Quake they had to be 10,000.
Yeah, and then now in Doom Eternal, it's just a giant BFG cannon.
Oh, that was perfect.
Really?
Yeah.
You know another fun game that I think is one of those cases where it's bad because it's way too short?
What's that?
Donut County. It's basically where you play this game where you control this little hole, you keep on getting things falling into it, making the hole bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
It's like very good game, but way too damn short.
Yeah, that's
like you can 100 it and get all the achievements in 2 hours.
Wow.
2 hours.
2 hours.
Yeah.
You know, you mentioned Ninja Turtle games earlier. I wish the 4 of us could get together and play Turtles in Time or something now.
Yeah.
Just download an emulator and we'll all start playing.
Oh, speaking of which, you know another game that really, that I was like an instant buy when it came out? Bloodstained Curse of the Moon, the little throwback version, getting everyone ready for the Bloodstained game next year.
Oh, that's the Castlevania type game, right?
But this is
I still have to play that.
But it is done. It's basically a retro version of it.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Fascinating.
And it's great because you could actually it actually gives you options. You could actually go right through. You can either have someone join up as your partner, or you can kill them and take their power.
Yeah, that's right.
But of course, but you have to actually intentionally attack them to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like, oh, ooh.
Oh, wow. Wait, with Ingrid coming back, we got to go back to Nickelodeon. I don't know if no, wait, she already mentioned you can't.
Yeah.
she just dropped out again.
Right.
You still there, Ingrid? Oh, she's gone.
Shit.
I'll send it again.
All right.
More technical difficulties, yay.
Like, it's funny I'm doing that because I found a magazine article that said, Alex Trebek back at 78 is amazing journey. When I finally retire, Jeopardy will go on without me.
Right.
Well, yeah.
I mean, that guy's, but I mean, his career has been around since the 70s doing so many game shows. But Jeopardy will definitely be his opus, I guess. That's the thing he's best known for.
Up your back.
Sorry, I
Was
keep
that
having
my-
issues.
Robin, was that my head or yours?
No, I think that was her head.
Oh.
What?
Well, when I saw somebody's webcam go off.
Oh,
Maybe that was Ingrid's. I don't know.
It was
I don't know.
definitely-
It was
Me.
probably mine. I had shut it off like as soon as possible.
For a second there, I thought it was my head.
no.
because my forehead was like right there for some reason. I'm like, wait a minute, that's not my room though. So what am I thinking?
Where am I right now?
Take out. I'm not in the living room right now. My
We're in
dad.
another dimension. How do we get back home?
No, worse. I'm in Quantum Leap, and I'm see myself in a woman again. I'm like,
Oh my god.
oh boy,
Oh boy. Oh boy.
that was a great show. I'm enjoying watching Quantum Leap for the first time.
My stepfather loves that show. He watches every time I come to see him. He's always watching it.
The great thing about the recent Blu-ray set, they did get all the music this time.
Finally.
Nice.
I'm glad musical rights are getting a little bit easier to attain as and shout out to Shout Factory for getting most of the music for WKRP in Cincinnati.
Right.
Or Universal when they got all the songs for Miami Vice. Nice, because when you take out the music, it kind of takes away something. Like this is my main gripe with the WWE Network. Like watching the old wrestling matches in great HD videotape now is amazing to watch, and hearing the crowds and stuff chanting Hogan, Savage, Austin, Rocky. But when you have a licensed tune and Vince again isn't willing to pay through the nose to get it, you hear some really bad dubbing effects, and it kind of takes you out of the movie. Like, as much as I love I Am a Real American, those early 80s clips of Hogan coming out to Eye of the Tiger or something else.
Yeah, that has to be awkward to edit too when you can't use the rights anymore. It's like, hey, you gotta get around it and all that stuff.
It kind of is. And it's easy for a WWE character who had something that WWE owns in their library to use or can repay a production library. But when they dub it over with just a generic sound alike, like you're like, this is not I am not watching an ECW match again until they get Enter Sandman back.
Right.
Because I'm a video editor, so I understand the struggles those people have to face.
Yeah. I mean, it's even more confusing when you're like, wait, why are they I know they own the WCW music now. Why library? Why are they dubbing over Goldberg's theme with his WWF theme? Or what happened to Diamond Dallas Page? Did it sound too much like Smells Like Teen Spirit? They didn't want to get sued.
Oh
no! You get what I'm saying.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But still, looking back in the '80s, the crowds, the energy. I mean, just for Ultimate Warrior and Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 6, I'm like, you will never hear a pop like that again.
It's interesting because I'm not big on wrestling, but when I see those 80s clips, like those old clips of those wrestling shows, there's this kind of energy that just doesn't feel matched with modern wrestling nowadays. I don't know what it is.
Everybody says that about the Attitude Era too, because the pops that Austin, The Rock, and DX and Mankind would get are also indispensable. As soon as you hear just the first note or first sound effect of their music, everybody got on their feet, everybody got their signs out. But now it's just since it gone PG, they all just kind of sit on their hands. I can understand that in Japan, you're supposed to be quiet while watching a show. Oh, in Japan, that's the culture. But out there, which kind of confused them at first until somebody explained it.
Yeah, no, I could see that.
But then it's like, no, Vince, it's a sign of respect. And anybody who wrestled in Japan before joining WWE, like Chris Jericho, actually said, Vince, no. Trust me, I worked for New Japan. I know how this works.
Right.
They respect, they love the show. Relax. Relax. Trust me, they love American wrestlers over here.
Right.
Here, but yeah, the energy looking back, and I'm like, I wish I was in this is why I was glad to be in a crowd for a SmackDown taping once when it came to the Mohegan Sun Arena, because just when Hogan came out, everybody was on their feet. And as soon as Voodoo Child from Jimi Hendrix said, and he came, as soon as he came out, he had us right out from the palm of his hand.
Right.
Again, well, let me tell you, it'll always be my biggest regret. I never saw Macho Man in person.
Yeah.
But we'll always have Slim Jims. Slim Jim!
Stop it, do it!
Eat me.
Gotta have beef. Gotta have spice. Need a little excitement. Stop it to a Slim Jim. Ooh, yeah.
Stop it, do it!
When you make the letter T in testosterone sound badly.
Yeah, seriously.
No, but the best commercial was the one with all the light bulbs in the wind mirrors, because you're begging him to have them all explode.
Yeah.
Are you aware of any of those commercials, Ingrid?
They don't sound familiar to me.
All right.
I mean, there's plenty of old commercials we remember, because we remember like the McDonald's and Fruity Pebbles, and like we could do our own like nostalgic commercial reviews, especially Christmas commercials. Wait, what? What's so funny?
Oh, I'm just thinking of like all of like just thinking of all the commercials I remember just from my childhood.
I know they just always because they're just so over the top and they just get the message across. You just can't help but smile when you think of that.
I think what also helped is almost all of them had a catchy song jingle to it, and if they didn't, they paid another song and it was commercialization. This is what I noticed when watching the California Raisins commercial, because they had all the Motown hits. That's for the Raisins to sing. Well, I heard it through the grapevine.
Oh yeah, Eric has really been going nuts with that stuff.
Well, with the claymation in general, because Will Vinton passed away this year as well. God bless him.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but his claymation, but revisiting his claymation, I'm like, just like, other than Art Clokey, who did Gumby and David and Goliath, he made the best stop motion animation for television and movies. Short films. Anyway, if we're talking about the best of movies, we're always going to talk about Willis O'Brien and Ray Harryhausen.
Well, duh.
Yeah, was he the one who did he do the stop motion for Moonwalker, or was that someone else?
Yeah, Moonwalker.
Will Vinton? Yeah, he did the claymation for the rabbit and all the people that are chasing Michael.
Because I remember like the style just looked so similar to the California Raisins.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. That was his style. He did a couple of music videos before for John Fogerty and Peter, Paul, and Mary. So again, because Michael was in, and they even said, Michael, hey, what if we turned you into a raisin? He's like, well, I'd love to be one of the California Raisins. Oh, I heard it through the grapevine. Well, I heard it through the grapevine. Coming to California sunshine. He wakes up. Must have been something.
It's time for my morning breakfast.
I know.
And I'm just imagining him walking into the office like, I would love to be a raisin.
Well, Weird Al Yankovic always tells the story. I was a little intimidated at first, but he gave the thumbs up. You can parody any song I want to. Great. Except this one. It's at black and white. I don't want the mess. Take it because it has a strong message. Okay, great. I don't want to run off your coattails forever. But it was 1991, so it was like, the album's almost finished. What popular song can I do? Here, Smells Like Teen Spirit on the radio. That's it. Give me Kurt Cobain on the phone.
I still love how he always asks permission. I love that.
He's not. I mean, even though under parodies under fair use, so we never had to. But he's such a nice guy and wants to keep bridges open with everybody.
Oh man, Weird Al Yankovic is great. I think sometimes his parodies are even better than the original songs.
Yeah.
Mark,
there are times where it's like I try to think of. Like, it's just like there are times where it's like sometimes it's just like, yeah, Weird Al's version just takes the place of the original in my mind, and it's like I hear Weird Al's lyrics there now. I can't get it off.
Well, here's the funny thing about that is Madonna even said, can I? She actually went to him instead of him going to her. Hey, I have just like a virgin is pretty popular right now. Could you do one of those things? Like, I'll turn it into a surgery in the video, like a surgeon.
Yeah.
Both Craig Kinn and Mark Mothersburg of Devo respectively said Dude, dude, I did Jeopardy, which was a hit, but I lost on Jeopardy. Is gonna last forever. And Mark Mothersbaugh was very PO'd that Dare to Be Stupid was the best Devo video he never made.
We are Devo.
I know. Dare to be stupid. Dare to be stupid. We Bob, whatever it is.
We're the Bob Wheat Nini Bob.
Yeah, Weird Al said.
Okay, I mean, you, Alex, Ingrid, you want to know one line from something? Getting back to Monty Python for a second, that I can do that people always seem to get impressed by.
What's that?
We are no longer the knight who say Nick. We are now the knight who say
Nice.
If you don't get it, that's exactly what they're saying. They always screw it up or something. No, it's Nicky Eki Peng Rumba.
Your mother.
That's
A
pretty
hidden
good.
talent. Who knew?
I know. Your mother was a hamster, and your father smelled of ingleberries. Now go away, or she'll insult you a second time.
Right.
It's merely a flesh wound.
It's a I know. Okay, we'll call it a draw.
Bleed on me.
Okay, we'll call it a draw.
I am invincible.
This is not the mightiest tree in the forest.
All right, get on with it. I know. Get on with it.
Yes,
get on with it. Oh, no.
Yes, get on with it.
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.
Oh, that. Well, I didn't expect the Spanish Inquisition. Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. Like that soup for you, you really got to see it the first time to get the full effect and never hear a parody of it in your life.
Yeah, well, welcome to the Monty Python Hour, folks.
Just a comedy. Yeah, we're talking about Weird Al. Just talk about the comedy hour. But
Yeah.
yeah, the fact that he does ask permission kind of came back to bit him, because Try As He Might, Prince never gave him the okay to parody one of his songs. And he's like, I don't understand. He seems like a funny guy. Maybe he's got a sense of humor now. Who knows? This was before Prince died, of course. God rest his. I'm gonna get depressed if I keep saying God rest his soul to too many dead celebrities.
Yeah.
That was the same year we lost David Bowie in January.
I know.
And Carrie Fisher.
Oh, last year, yeah.
Exactly. Well, maybe I have time for another story then. It's called Without a Paddle.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you don't know this. You don't know this. A while back, and when we always do meetups once in a while, and in person. And one of those times we were watching through
The Family Guy.
Something Dark Side. First of all, Eric floored me with a certain fact.
That they did a parody of the ending of Back to the Future too.
Well, the joke was, of course. Wait, have you ever seen something Dark Side?
The Family Guy parody of Empire Strikes Back.
Ingrid?
Oh no, I don't think I have. I don't really watch much mainstream television, honestly.
Okay, well, basically though, at the end, when they make fun of, how Empire ends on a downer, they said there's so many unanswered questions, so they just out of the blue decide let's give it a different sequel ending.
And it's Back to the Future. It's Back to the Future Part 2, and they got back the same guy who gives Marty the letter.
Yeah, they actually got the actual actor.
That was pretty cool.
You look Skywalker.
That's amazing.
Yeah, but then I floored them by telling him at the end when he does it's called Without a Paddle. And then, of course, Chris goes, fuck you, Dad.
It's because Seth Green, who voices Chris, was in that movie, and Robert knew because he saw a movie poster back when he worked in a movie theater.
I know, I'm like, that's a real movie. I still remember that poster. It was him and Matthew Lillard.
It's easy to forget Seth Green and just that whole package of Sarah Michelle Gellar and Freddie Prinze Jr. and Matthew Lillard were in some bad movies together.
Yeah.
They were kind of like the Brat Pack. You had some hits, but then you had some stinkers.
Right.
Yep.
Like, getting back to John Hughes, it's watching that Home Alone again after so many years, after also rewatching National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. He has this way of doing the perfect. Both of those movies are the perfect combination of over-the-top slapstick, but with moments you would expect from a real-life situation deal with your family at Christmas. Yes, I think that's why those movies are still considered modern classics to watch at Christmas time.
Oh, yeah.
Like, for all the slapstick Chevy Chase goes through, it's the little it's also the little moments, like the parents sleeping, or the son mindlessly watching a Christmas special, and you're like we've seen that at Christmas, that at our Christmas get-togethers.
Well, I love that movie a lot because I feel like we identify with it because it talks about like the stuff we love about Christmas, but it also talks about the stresses too, about work, about getting together with family, and it does that with great comedy.
You get that
Yep.
with you also get the unwanted relative showing up, like Cousin Eddie.
Oh, Cousin Eddie. I love Cousin Eddie.
Yeah, what is he doing?
Clark, it's a gift that keeps on giving the whole year round.
Yeah, I guess I still love the bit where after he gets the letter, you didn't hear even what was it, his dad or his father-in-law? I forget which. Who's basically, it was his dad, right?
Yeah, he was like, son.
I know. You have that brief. Even he's like, okay, I might give my son a hard time, but even he did not deserve that.
Oh
No,
yeah.
Did not deserve to have his bonus taken away. Like,
Well, not even taken away. It's like so
I know it's
cheap.
I know it's a year-round gift certificate to the Jelly of the Month Club.
Yeah.
How
I want him
cheap
right.
can a guy be?
And I want him right here with a big ribbon on his head.
Yeah.
We all know that, Rab. And poor James Rolfe for always seeing the TV version until now.
Yeah.
Holy shit! Where's the Tylenol?
Hallelujah! Holy shit! Where's the Tylenol? Wasn't that
Which
in
is even-
improv too? I think
I don't know.
they had to be. That could not have been written.
If it is, that's the last thing funny thing Chevy Chase did until Community.
Oh Lord! Yes.
Right.
But speaking of, but it makes it all the better when his boss does get kidnapped by Eddie and he has a change of heart. I'll take what you did and take what your original bonus was and add 20%. Everyone's cheering. He has this goofy look in his face and then he just fades. Perfect timing after all. But also as Nostalgia Critic pointed out, you blink and you miss it. But the father-in-law, which gave him a hard time throughout the movie, is the first one to stand up to his boss.
I know. It's like, hey, you want to go get him? You got to go through me.
Hey, exactly. You're gonna have to go. Hey, Goblin, you want to hurt a Spider-Man trying to save a bunch of kids? We're in New York. You mess
with one of us. You mess with all of us.
I wonder. With all the Spider-Man hype, I want to rewatch the Raimi trilogy again. I think I have so many nostalgia.
Why do so many people are now dumping on it so easily? You had the stuff with the that new costume in the new game.
I know.
One of the guys involved in the game was basically saying, "Why do people want the costume from the shit movie anyway?" It's like
they only take out the dancing moves in 3, and you'll have a coherent trilogy, folks.
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't go with the fourth one.
Yeah, those movies were to us what Superman 1 and 2 was to our parents, okay? Or to what Batman was when we were 4 years old. And is Batman Returns a Christmas movie? Technically. It has all the snow and shit.
Right.
I know.
Let's not go down a whole spiral on that.
Oh, no. Let's not get into that again.
Right. Otherwise, we'll have to add Lethal Weapon next to Die Hard as well, the first one.
Lethal Weapon. I still have to see those movies.
Same here. It's Richard Donner once again, speaking of Superman.
No. Speaking of Christmas and speaking of Richard Donner, Scrooged.
Oh, yeah, again with Bill Murray. But Bill Murray again. It just being this.
Have you ever seen that, Ingrid?
Scrooged with Bill Murray?
I don't think I did, no.
I've seen clips of it, but it's Bill Murray once again at his absolute finest as a sleaze bag.
Yep.
Yeah, it's really good.
But that's part of the point for that in that case.
Well, yeah, because he's the Scrooge stand-in, basically. He's like, Ghost of Christmas Past. Ah!
Yeah, he's realizing, like, oh, fuck.
Just let him in any... Like Robin Williams, just say, you're going to improv all your lines, and boom, you get Ghostbusters, you get Stripes, you get all these great movies.
Hoom chakalaka, hoom chakalaka, hoom chakalaka, hoom.
Hey, guys. Hey, what are we worried about? Mr. Stay Puft's a sailor. He's in New York City. We get this guy laid. We won't have any problems.
Yeah.
And of course, the last time with him and Ramos and what kind of damaged their careers, their friendship for so long was Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
Mostly because Bill kept on wanting to make it a serious movie. And but compared to a lot of the other comedies, it can get a little serious. I mean, come on. The montage of him committing suicide over and over to the point where he has a line of, I've died so many times, I don't even exist anymore.
Yeah, it's like, what the hell was that?
Yeah, I know. It's like...
It's not the first time Harold Ramis had problems with a comedian. I mean, he had a couple of problems with Rodney Dangerfield during the shooting of Caddyshack.
You know, I still say it's the funniest moment was that... At the point where even... Eric, don't say it. I want to tell these two. It's to the point where they actually make a joke about it in Simpsons.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, don't say it. the point where after he tells, he goes, "I gotta take a bet. I'm not gonna pay you a cent. You hear me? Any money? Not a cent. Yeah, I thought so. Hey guys, help him find his wallet." Guy runs off. As Rodney laughs. Then he turns around, going, "Hey everyone, we're all gonna get laid," and everyone's there. It's just like, wait, he went on a hill. Then all of a sudden, then he's right in front of the building with everyone cheering. You're like, how? Wait, what? To the point where Simpsons made a joke of even Marge like, "How did everyone get here?"
Why is everybody drunk? And why are they playing Journey? Don't worry, it's a party, Mom. Just go with it.
But she's just making fun of how it went from one thing to all of a sudden, like, where'd they come from?
Yeah.
And I still need to see that movie all the way. I'm loving revisiting Rodney Dangerfield's stand-up. Yeah, he was the master of one-liners and was one of the few to really make Johnny Carson just crack up in a stitch. Bitch, hey, my wife made me join the bridge club. I jump off next Tuesday.
Oh, weaponized nerd rage. I brought that up when he was bringing up some of the best, because if you want self-deprecating humor, Rodney was the king.
He was. His life stunk, but he turned it into one of the best careers once he hit 50.
And when Weaponized brought that up, he brought up Rodney. I typed that in there. He's like, "Oh, Robert said that one. I joined the bridge club. I jumped next week." He was laughing at that.
Well, the funny take. My wife and I were happy for 23 years, and then we got married.
Oh, or then you have the one about smoking.
Oh yeah. Take this. My wife said we should smoke after sex. I haven't had a cigarette in 20 years. She smokes 2 packs a day.
Oh, you get that one, Ingrid? Ingrid?
Oh,
No, you get it. Like, I haven't smoked one. She smokes. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
The Sonny Killuck, my psychiatrist, he's pretty useless too. I get no respect.
He's like, come on over. There's nobody home. So I went on over. There was nobody home. That's a classic.
I was ready to jump off the building. The priest came up. I said, Father, say something to help me. And he said, "On your mark."
Or how about I'll do anything. Anything?
On second thought, jump.
Oh. Seriously, he is the perfect epitome of the well, basically like he says, gets no respect.
I got no respect. Johnny, so you're in the new movie. Yeah, I'm in this new movie. It's called Back to School. Back to School. I basically get detention throughout the full film. So there's this. So what clip are you going to say? I am the man. I am the man. I am so crazy. I should be in detention. I am the man. And that's what I love about 80s movies. You made it when every other line is you could just put it on a T-shirt and it'll sell.
Yep.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah,
Agreed.
You sounded like Butthead there for a second. Yeah, seriously. I think it's like Christmas. Yes, Christmas is awesome because you can
I realize, but Beavis, he never scored.
No! That was one of the best episodes.
No! Of course, that would be his worst nightmare.
Yeah, it would be.
And then
I'm trying to watch a porno, and you fart knockers keep hanging away.
Hey, guys, please kill Beavis and Butthead, God, please.
Of course, the fact that led to 2 spinoffs.
Yeah, I know.
It only what was the other one? I only remember
Daria and King of the Hill.
Well, that's a
spinoff.
It's not the same guy though. They could have totally revamped Hill and give him the same voice. Well, boy, ain't right. Bobby,
I still
Bobby,
say
Bobby, it's time you understood the finer aspects of selling propane.
Yeah.
Them boys have something wrong in the head.
Yep.
Boy, the fact that the voice of Bobby 1 was Pajama Sam from the old point-and-click adventure games, but 2, and was Nellie in Recess.
Oh yeah.
That was Pamela Adlon. She is one of the most foul-mouthed women you could ever find, and yet she just keeps on voicing these characters. You know,
it's funny when I was a kid. It's always funny. When
oh no!
What?
What Robert said?
I was just kind of just like providing a reaction to the kind of stuff you've said.
Yeah.
Sorry if that was unclear.
No, that was all right.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, if you I forgot the actress's name, the one who plays Mabel on Gravity Falls. If you hear her stand up, it's really raunchy, and you can never hear Mabel the same way again.
Oh, there's so many.
This is why I'm always. This is what happened when I was a kid. When I watched so many of those sitcoms, because it seemed every comedian had his or her their
Oh,
own.
Kristen Shaw.
Yeah, but then when
that's what he's talking about. Kristen Shaw.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's her.
Trixie from Toy Story 3, the Triceratops.
Yeah, her.
Oh, gee. Yeah, I'm aware of her stand-up. It is raunchy.
Can I finish my story, please?
Sorry.
But that's what happened to me when I was a kid, because I would watch like Home Improvement and the Ellen's first sitcom a lot, and then when I saw a lot of Whoopi Goldberg, and then I saw their stand up, and I hear so many bleeps on Comedy Central. I'm like, Mom, the Tim the Toolman said a bad word.
God, and let's not forget Bob Saget.
Yeah.
Oh.
Let's not forget Robin Williams. Once you're like, yay, we get to see Mark and Mindy. You know what kind of shit happens in Russia? We got to do this for Mother Russia. So I have 3 kids that I know of.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, Rob, you won't hear the GD say that. No substitutions, exchanges, or
no, it's not the same as far as you can't look back at them because they did something raunchy. It's not like that, but there's still a case where ever since the actress did one show, I can never look back at another role she did, and that's Laura Jill Miller. Ever since I heard her as Juniper Lee, I can never, ever hear her back as Kari from Digimon without expecting her to just scream at the top of her lungs.
Yeah, because Kari was a very quiet character by comparison.
Even by 02, she was still this nice, sweet girl.
She only ever yelled when she had to yell at a monster or say something. They tell the Digimon to Gatomon to transform into something. Digihammer energize!
Yeah, but as Juniper, she's like, go get him, yeah!
I know. I can hear you!
Drama queen.
Now, where is he? He's going to be where?
That's one of those shows that ended way too soon.
Yeah.
That's
and talk about a great cliffhanger with the fact that you see her friend Jody sees her leaping around doing all this cool stuff while Jody has these books on magic. She just drops them like.
I can't stand shows that leave on cliffhangers and then they get canceled.
But it was still of a vague cliffhanger at the very least.
It's like the movie that tries to set up a sequel, but it bombed, so there's never going to be a sequel. It's like Sonic the Hedgehog or the Super Mario Brothers.
Well, if you ever read the comic for the Super Mario Brothers movie, that could have been. It would have been so good.
Yeah, you told me about it.
Although to be fair, though, that comic gave them an unlimited budget, so.
Well, yeah.
It's still the whole behind the scenes stuff with the Super Mario Brothers movies really fascinating because of just how everything went. It's like how not to do a production, how everything can go wrong with a production.
One praise I can give that movie is that much like Jurassic Park, at the same time, it had to invent new special effects to get the dinosaurs right.
Well, I liked the sets in that movie. I thought the world looked really cool and dark.
Ingrid, did you ever see it? The Super Mario Brothers movie?
If you have, God.
Oh no, I've only heard the legends about it.
Yep. The legends you heard are true.
Yeah.
Here's a legendary bad movie that I once sat through. Cool World by Ralph Bakshi.
Oh.
Hey, don't get.
Probably the one movie that he wouldn't mind people walking out of.
Oh, no. Yeah, nobody takes out a videotape or a DVD of my movies on company, even if it's on company time. You go back and you finish Cookskin.
Of course, that is it's cool. If I would say it's Cool World. Oh, forget it. Go.
I know. Forget it. No, go watch Wizards. It's my family picture.
Family picture.
A family picture. Speaking of Pamela Adlon, she's in the Bumblebee movie.
No way.
She's the main girl, Charlie. That's her mom, and she plays the mom.
Peter, by the way, God bless Peter Cullen for realizing that Optimus Prime meant so much to everybody.
He was kind of like D. Bradley Baker was OMAC. He had no clue.
Exactly. He had no clue until the internet and conventions came. Well, dude, wait.
The slide of the silver monkey.
No. Like this. Thank you, OMAC. So tell us, where's the lost idol? The lost idol of the Achilles can be found at the shrine of the silver monkey.
Do you remember that game in that game show, Ingrid?
It's Legends of the Hidden Temple on Nickelodeon.
Legends of the Hidden Temple.
It played.
I don't know. I think I remember other Nickelodeon game shows that I ended up watching at 3 a.m. at a friend's house. I think the major one in that department was I think it was called Guts.
Do you have it?
Yeah, that was their
Do you have it?
Yeah, we loved Guts. That was Nickelodeon's answer to American Gladiators, basically, or the Olympics, giving the kids their own Olympics. And Mike O'Malley, who did a previous show called Get the Picture, just hammed it up. Welcome to the Extreme Arena. This is the Aggro Crag.
Well, come on, Ingrid, you had to have seen Nick Arcade, though.
Yeah, with the video games.
That sounds vaguely familiar, but I can't remember a specific episode I've watched.
That one was my jam.
How about what about Double Dare?
Oh, I love Double Dare, of course.
I'm talking to Ingrid here, though.
Once again, it sounds vaguely familiar, but I can't recall a specific episode.
Well, it had Mark Summers, who now pretty much is the Food Network.
No. Well, he set the standard for the Food Network.
Well, yeah. Welcome to Unwrapped. Today, we're going to see what's in every fruity yabba dabba delicious bite of Fruity Pebble cereal.
Yeah, but the thing about Mark Summers that I think we all admire, it's this Double Dare. If you've never seen it, it's one of the most messiest kids game shows on earth, and the guy has OCD. So that was amazing how he was able to.
But he didn't know it at the time.
No, he was undiagnosed when he did Double Dare and What Would You Do? Which they thought, Mark takes 4 showers a day. It's a day. He's just like
a really clean
guy. But then
think about that. Ingrid, think about it a second. He had OCD. He kept putting himself through all this mess. Pie, slime, all this stuff.
Yeah, chewed bubble gum, water, spilled water, and
things breaking apart all over. Just imagine how much hell that must have been for him.
And yet he's
I'm kind of cringing just hearing you describe that, because I would not be able to handle that for an entirely different reason.
Keep on talking, guys. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Yeah, well, Mark didn't care. He just wanted to be on television. He didn't care if it was network or if it was cable. And he didn't even know what Nickelodeon was at the time until his daughters turned into it. And he said, I wonder if they're hiring. So he did a little research, watched a couple more shows, and he ran into Jeffrey Darby and Debbie and a few of the network executives who said, we need another hit. We're going to need another hit. Okay, well, what do kids not have right now? They don't have there hasn't been a kids game show in 20 years. Okay, well, what game shows do we like as kids? Truth or Consequences, Beat the Clock. Okay, well, we like Truth or Dare. Let's basically do Beat the Clock. We'll call it a different name though. We'll call it Double Dare, and we'll give and the bonus round will be an obstacle course.
I still say is one of the funniest moments. Eric knows it, of course.
Which one?
The little girl.
Oh, yeah, the little girl who said, no, her favorite Nickelodeon game show was its sister show, Finders Keepers.
But it's right on the air. Obviously, it's live, so they can't do anything about it.
No, it wasn't.
It was taped. No, it was taped. But...
Yeah, they taped 4 hours. It was Monday through Friday, so they taped 4 shows every day.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But obviously, there wasn't anything they could do to control this kid.
Wait, what?
I'm just saying, obviously, there wasn't anything they could do to control this kid, obviously.
No, she was like, I don't know, barely old enough to talk, but she knew what Nickelodeon was. Now, you were in Indiana, right, when I did a seminar? Yeah. And what's your favorite show to watch on Nick? Finders Keepers. Everyone in the back. Yep. Because half of the Double Dare staff also worked on Finders Keepers. And Mark was like, oh, now I know how hard Linklater must have felt. Because he originally did the Kids Say the Darndest Thing segments on his TV show.
Yeah.
Long before Bill Cosby did it. You like Jello, don't you?
The less said, the better.
Yeah, let's not go there.
Theo, that is the dumbest thing I ever heard. No wonder you get D's on your report card. Now, given birth, Carol Burnett says that giving birth is the equivalent of having your lip ripped over your face and onto the other side of your head.
Although I will say this. If you ever seen Eddie Murphy's when he does his stand-up on Bill Cosby making fun of him,
that was a great segment. I've seen Raw. I remember that segment. That was hilarious.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I mean, Eddie Murphy's stand-up is like that. He's like, okay, Richard Pryor's done. Time to bring in Eddie. Okay, Eddie's falling. Let's bring in Chris Rock. Who's this Dave Chappelle fellow again? Then give him a show.
Right.
But yeah, I love those guys as comedians. They're hilarious. Hey, yes. You ever been to a barbecue? Yes, says Cleveland from Family Guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, and oh no, I don't want to kiss my aunt. She has the mustache. Why do kids always walk weird when they're throwing a fit?
Yeah.
Hello, boys and girls. Mr. Landlord gave me an eviction notice.
You say.
We could just talk Saturday Night Live memories too. Like him and Joe Piscopo. I'm Gumby, damn it.
Yep.
I mean, but
We are two wild and crazy guys.
There's Joe or Ralph Bakshi. No, it's somebody else. But they were like, he's a son of a bitch. I got the fever, and the only remedy I got
more cowbell.
Yeah, although I love the Champagne one when his mustache keeps falling off. I crack up every time.
Wait, that's some of the Continental sketches.
Yeah, the one he's just Champagne.
My mom could not resist. That was just laughing every time we said Champagne. And I'm like, that's a Futurama reference I now get because Zap Brannigan said the same thing to Leela several times.
Yep.
I love Christopher Walken. He's the man.
Little pigs, let me come in.
I know, Jimmy. It says so on the cue cards.
Oh,
and then I took your father's watch, and then I stuck it up my ass.
After your father died of dysentery, then you realize what dysentery means, and you're like, oh.
Again, we have all these William Shatner type fellas, but we can't help but love them. Jeff Goldblum's almost the same. Like, hey, like even on like he even pulls it off on Sesame Street when he's this Indiana Jones.
He was on Sesame Street, and it was awesome. He was an Indiana Jones character.
Yeah. That's what.
Just him doing his Jeff Goldblum thing on that is just like, wow, that's awesome.
I know, but basically he called him Minneapolis, and I'm like, okay, who names their first kid Bob and their next kid Minneapolis? Yes, it's arithmetic. Take this. An archaeologist is someone in your neighborhood, the kind of person you meet each day. Bob, what a quite a singer. And just listening to him sing together with Bob, I'm like, you don't hear Jeff sing very often. I like to be going. It's like he's being more bluesy while Jeff is being like what he usually is since he's the music teacher on Sesame Street.
Right.
Hey, Oscar.
I'm just picturing the whole Indiana Jones movies with Jeff Goldblum now. It's like, why did it have to be safe?
Oh, speaking of which, what Rob and I are doing are similar to what Rob Paulson does on Talking Tunes. Take their characters and put them into famous movies. Even D. Bradley Baker said, "Hey, Timon, it's just a little lion."
Oh, that was hilarious. Hear him do Olmec's voice doing the Lion King.
From the Lion King.
With Rob doing his own Timon.
Right. But when I looked up all the actors that could have been the dad in Home Alone, they included everyone from Bruce Willis to Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Really?
Imagine that.
And I'm trying to
God.
Robin
I think
Williams.
the movie would have been completely different if Arnold Schwarzenegger was the dad.
But
that's right. I forgot to close the garage door.
I tried to bet, but
you hearing this?
Yeah, in Home Alone, there was a lot of different casting choices.
Sorry, I zoned out there.
No, we were just talking about how there were a bunch of actors that could have played the dad in Home Alone, one of which was Arnold.
Even
what?
Just imagine that Betty. Yeah, that's right. I forgot to close the garage door.
It would have been entirely different movie with just that one casting change.
Wait. Bruce Willis was also a choice after doing Moonlighting and Die Hard. He said, so I'm just picturing him saying, hey, why do I have to pay $112 for a pizza?
Yeah. He would have worked as a dad.
Or Robin Williams, for that matter. Does somebody mind telling me why I have to pay this much for a pizza?
Again, the dad is such a bit part.
Yeah. I mean, the mother is the one we all focus on because she's the one that wants desperate to get home. She's the one manhandling the airport in a pre-9/11 society. She's the one that runs into John Candy as a Christmas.
Who did it for no money?
No money. He did it for free, and he was like, that's it. My career's over. See, and then he sees it became a hit, and he's like, I misjudged. I love it now.
Here's some other. I got the list here. Here, hold on. You guys want to know? But yeah, here's the list of who else could have played the dad. Tim Allen, Dan Aykroyd, Warren Beatty, James Belushi, Chevy Chase, Kevin Costner, Ted Danson, Michael Douglas, Harrison Ford, Richard Gere, Mel Gibson, John Goodman, Tom Hanks, Michael Keaton, John Lithgow, Christopher Lloyd, Steve Martin, Rick Moranis, Bill
No,
Murray,
this can't be real. How's there so many?
Jack Nicholson, Sean Penn,
This
Dennis
is hilarious to me, and I'm
Christopher
not
Reeve,
knowledgeable on actors much at
Martin
all.
Sheen, Sylvester Stallone, John Travolta, and we already mentioned Robin, Bruce, and Arnold.
There's a piece
What
of
the
pizza.
But here's who were all considered for the mom.
Oh, yeah,
Either
the mom, yeah.
Christy Alley, Kim Basinger, Linda Carter, Kim Cattrall, Glenn Close, Jamie Lee Curtis, Gina Davis, Laura Dern, Carrie Fisher, Jodie Foster, Jennifer Grey,
Really?
Linda Hamilton, Daryl Hannah, Holly Hunter, Helen Hunt, Angelica Houston, Diane Keaton, Jessica Lange, Gates McFadden, Bette Midler, Michelle Pfeiffer, Meg Ryan, Mary Steenburgen, Sharon Stone, or Sigourney Weaver.
These were all real. These were all real choices.
They were all real.
What?
Like Chrissy Alley was the closest.
They were
but
either
she was-
or Christy.
Sorry, I got cut off.
Okay.
He said Christy Alley was the closest.
Yeah, well, because she was busy with Look Who's Talking Too.
That's right. Yeah, those movies.
Oh,
where
the
she's-
irony.
Yep.
Yeah, but Harry was written for Robert De Niro in mind originally.
Oh,
They-
yeah.
And you know
But,
what, too, going back to the female actresses, I think Jamie Lee Curtis would have done a good job.
But again, you gotta remember if that wouldn't have happened. She probably would have remembered her line.
That's true though. I'm just saying, like, it would. I think it would have been like a decent alternative.
I think Sigourney Weaver could have if she was playing more Dana from Ghostbusters 2.
Yeah.
Linda Hamilton, I think might have as well. I'm not sure. Maybe.
Wait a minute. This was 90.
This was 1990. This was long after Terminator, but before Terminator 2.
So yeah, she wasn't the hard ass. All right, yeah.
It wasn't the broken Sarah Connor yet.
Oh, get this. River Phoenix or Keanu Reeves were both reportedly considered for Buzz. Holy brother.
Uncle Frank. Hey, Uncle Frank was originally written with Kelsey Grammer in mind.
Why is I can see that?
Kevin, what did
Yeah.
you do to my room, man? Whoa.
Whoa.
Or Kelsey Grammer is Uncle Frank. Well, it's a terrible tragedy. If it makes you feel any better, I forgot my reading glasses.
You know what? I got to say, the guy who played Uncle Frank.
Oh, the other guy. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
He was such a douche in that movie.
Really?
Yeah, but I think he worked a lot better.
Harry as well was also considered for either Rowan Atkinson, Bill Collins, Danny DeVito, Bob Hoskins, John Lovitz, or Dudley Moore.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm just picturing Bob Hoskins next to Daniel Stern now. Yes, now. No, tomorrow. Yes, now. Go. Just being Eddie Valiant throughout the whole movie.
Ingrid, we're hearing noise on your end.
Are you cleaning something?
Oh, sorry.
Are you cleaning something?
Multitasking a bit. Sorry.
Alright.
Oh, you know
Doing it
who
all.
who else was considered for Marv at one point? Michael Richards, aka Kramer.
Oh God.
And that Santa Claus that Kevin runs into was originally auditioned by Chris Farley.
Ah.
Well,
I'm
that
at
would have been
fault.
interesting.
I'm Matt Foley, motivational speaker.
Yeah, here's the thing. The first Home Alone is a classic, but there's kind of a goofy charm to the second one, especially when you have Tim Curry in it.
Tim.
Tim Curry and Rob Schneider. Getting the most you can out of Tim Curry and Rob Schneider is no easy task.
Rob Schneider actually wasn't that bad in it.
Ingrid. Sorry, I was looking at tell you was Ingrid. Could you mind muting your end if you're going to be cleaning around a little?
Sorry.
That's all right.
Just don't want our opinions on stuff.
No. I know. Oh, John Candy was a report. He's supposed to make another cameo in the second movie. In the second one.
Oh. There's I love you.
You know, it's funny because sometimes I'm tempted when I'm at work and I'm done with a customer. I want to go, have a lovely day.
Have a lovely day.
No, every Christmas now, if I ever go back to regular retail, I'll just say, keep the change, you filthy animal. And a Happy New Year.
I know.
I know. Hey, where's my money? I'll be as the register. What money? My change. Angel, change. It says so on the register. Is that so? How much do I owe you?
Hubert's searching with everybody. Bodie Bob, Cliff. No, that's a lie.
Go on forever, baby.
Baby.
Okay, now I regret.
Oh
not
yeah,
watching
that's another thing. The fact that it took so many people to realize, wait, those weren't real movies.
Yeah, I know.
They weren't. There's this whole thing on Twitter about one celebrity realizing, oh shit, it's not a real movie. Fuck.
I know.
Like, son of a bitch. And it became it became a moment on Twitter for the full day.
That's awesome.
It is, but money? What money? Hey, and what else is on the TV in both films? You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. That's special. No matter how many times I watch it, I still love it.
Oh man, the Grinch is like that's just the OG Christmas special for me personally.
It is. I sorry.
Actually, funny trivia about that. They told the book publisher basically told Dr. Seuss, don't make up any of your funny languages for the book. So he didn't. But come the special, when Chuck Jones asked them to come on board, he said, they didn't say I couldn't call the trumpets to who flu goes or anything like that. So I'm putting it in, and they'll feast, and they'll feast, and they'll feast.
Yep. Okay. Believe it or not, that was actually Boris Karloff doing both the narrator and the Grinch. I think some people always mix up that it was both.
That's right. The Grinch looked around, but because reindeer was scarce, he came up with another plan. And in his head, if I can't find a reindeer, I'll make one.
Oh, speaking of which, you know what I heard about the recent movie with
Benedict
Cumberbatch? Yeah.
Cumberbatch, yeah.
Originally, they wanted him to do the British accent. Be like Boris Karloff. He refused.
Oh yeah.
That's why we got that stupid voice he has.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. I heard it's pretty bad.
You were saying it makes the Jim Carrey movie look tolerable.
Oh wow!
Whoopsie!
Oh man, yeah. I normally like Benedict Cumberbatch, but yeah, that's just something I have to give a miss on principle.
Yeah, it's just like I don't think no one can really capture the Seuss magic like Dr. Seuss himself could.
I know.
Yeah, it's just like, why even bother trying? You're never going to do better than the original special.
I think because those animated movies came so close. Not animated movies, the anime specials. The anime specials.
Because I know he was involved with them too, though, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that might be a reason why.
James Rolfe basically said the 60s were kind of like that golden age of television Christmas specials. Like after Mr. Magoo Christmas Carol, they just kept coming out like gangfire, especially the Rankin and Bass stop motion ones.
Yeah.
And, your Rudolph, Santa Claus is coming.
Why weren't you at elf practice?
I love that to become a meme because it's so hilarious, his delivery. Why did you show at elf practice?
And it's like,
I want to become a
it's just, I actually got some presents with characters from that wrapped, and it's just like my brother and I just looked at each other thinking the exact same
thing. The one bit I always find weird in that special. The one bit I always find weird in that special was when the abominable snow monster is there. You see Sam the snowman just go as he puts his umbrella up. It's like, why is he doing that? He's nowhere near the snow beast.
He doesn't like the side of it. He's just like,
but he's acting like it's right there in front of him.
He's like, tell me when it's over. Okay, where were we? So you called Cornelius and Hermie were desperate to find their friends. What this fog is as thick as peanut butter. You mean pea soup? You eat what you like, I'll eat what I like.
I'll eat what I like.
Peppermint. I found up just what I was looking for this entire time.
I have hardly seen that in any of them.
Whoopee! What, Rob?
I hardly heard that in any of those.
That's because we always got the Island of Misfit Toys ending on TV.
Oh, Alex, Ingrid, here's something that'll make you realize something with that ending. They must have forgot this when they did that ending. Remember when the elf is tossing all the toys out of the sleigh?
Yeah,
and then he comes to the bird. He then looks at the umbrella and looks at the bird and just pushes him off.
Yeah, I remember that.
He's the one who can't fly. He swims.
Oh,
that elf's an asshole.
I know. You're like, oh crap, he dead. He dead.
Well, sadly, visiting that special again, you realize, shit, everybody is an asshole to Rudolph and Hermie.
But did you also ever hear that apparently, according to the word of God, what the dolly was, her flaw was?
What?
But you told me it once, Eric. Didn't you say that someone asked and they said like she was depressed or something?
Yeah, chronic depression or something.
How does that make sense for a doll?
Oh my God!
But how does that make sense for a doll? How would the kid know about that?
The kid wouldn't, but Canon, but whoever
maybe it's perpetually frowning. I don't know.
No, here's my theory. The kid wouldn't, but the guy wouldn't. Would just get bored with the doll eventually. Basically, but that Lion King, pardon the expression,
King,
who ran the Island of Misfit Toys would understand. Thanks, Dad. I, of course, am the ambassador of the Island of Misfit Toys. And Jack in the Box? Yes.
No, Charlie. Nobody wants a Charlie in the box, so I came here. Where's here?
What's great about all those specials is that not only did they do 19 of them, in addition to doing Easter
King Moonracer.
Right, but the fact they got all these old-timey celebrities to keep the old-timey feel, like, James Cagney or Gene or Mickey
Burl Ives for Sam.
Burl Ives, of course. Fred Astaire for Santa Claus is coming.
And then Jimmy Durant for Frosty.
Yeah. It was a special kind of snow.
Frosty, the snowman.
Was a very happy soul. Like a Frosty. Thanks. Man, with kids.
Oh, I gotta say this. Alex, Ingrid, did any of you ever see the clip on YouTube of the original song before they changed it to
I can help with this. The original song was "We're a Couple of Misfits."
Yeah, it was the fuller version of it.
But they replaced it with another song called "Fortune and Fame."
Yeah, but when you actually look at it, though, we're a couple of misfits. It doesn't sync up at all with what we're seeing.
With none of the movement, the lip sync, any of that.
It feels like they did. It feels like they did Fame and Fortune just to fit up with
Yeah, that's interesting.
The Island of Misfit Toys was added the year later after a letter writing campaign with kids realizing, hey, wait a minute, we never cut back to them. What happened? Please give them a home, please.
Yeah.
And real.
Made it seem like they forgot them.
Rankin and Bass, to their credit, said,
hey, oh, geez, they're right.
He's like, sure, what? You know what? Why not? I'll have to cut a little bit of the movie, but we'll still have to it'll still be the same. Yeah, and we could just dub over Santa and Rudolph's lines are already got put in. Then so let's just do the Island of Misfit Toy scene. Hey,
I didn't know that.
Yep.
Yeah. It's amazing the trivia you learn yearly. It's like when you learn that Charles. It's like whenever they watch a Peanut special, they said Charles Schultz would tell stories of how he got so much candy after the Halloween one, or so much Valentine's after the Valentine specials, because Charlie Brown would never get one.
I know. Sorry, back to the
Halloween. I got a rock.
Yeah, so it tells you the kids cared about Charlie Brown. They're like, I got a rock.
Mm-hmm.
I know. That's why I'm glad the Christmas special is one of the times he actually does get a happy ending.
Well, that was the first animated, so of course,
Well, the first animated one, everybody who thought it would fail, they're like, nobody's going to like the jazz score. We're going to alienate people with the Bible verse. The kid actors are so wooden and stuff. And the animation, and of course, even Bill Melendez is like, the animation's terrible. I ruined Peanuts.
Yep.
But to his credit, Schultz stuck to his guns, and here we are today. It's still being played ad nauseum.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Although now my mom and dad have to explain to my nephew what an aluminum Christmas tree is, because they are old enough to have had one of those one Christmas.
Interesting thing I just found out about Paul Frees, Boris Badenov, also Burgermeister Meisterburger from Santa Claus.
That's a funny name.
I know. He is also the voice of Santa Claus and Frosty the Snowman. But you're like, wait a minute, the guy does Boris, did he? Come now, Karen. Frosty isn't gone for good. You see, he was made out of Christmas snow and all that. You're like, wait.
Wait, he's the one who saved it. I've been bamboozled after him.
That again, yeah, when you hear him as Meisterburger, you're like, oh, yeah, that's definitely Boris.
It's like...
But again, no, he was also, well, actually, believe it or not, he was also Ben Grimm of the Fantastic Four in the Hanna-Barbera version. Remember, this was the guy who was tied with Mel Blanc for the Man of 1,000 Voices.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's amazing the trivia you learn so many years later when you play this. I think this is why I also like revisiting these again and again, like getting back to the Muppets. Just, again, the other reason it holds up so well is that to see the Muppets of the Muppet Show besides Kermit, interact with the Sesame Street Muppets, or Kermit finally meeting the Fraggles for the first time.
Right.
this time because the Fraggles were one of the few Muppet projects that didn't have Kermit involved. Like Kermit would always be there to either narrate the special or in the Sesame Street project be the Muppet newsman.
Right.
But he would never but he never met the Fraggles once. So they thought, Jim thought, this might be the only opportunity that I got.
Right.
All right. Hey guys, I gotta get going. So it was great being on the stream with you guys. It was nice meeting you, Igrid, and I hope we get to do this again soon.
Agreed.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great to see you. Great to talk to you again, Alex.
Yep. You too. I'll talk to you guys soon.
This was great.
And everyone who stayed around the Euroflyer shenanigans, we hope you enjoyed it.
Yep, don't know. I see some people are still watching. I don't know if it's just us in here watching.
Watching ourselves, I think we have a bit of an ego going on here, guys.
I guess.
All right, I'll talk to you guys later.
Later. Actually,
Bye.
I think now's a good time to start wrapping up anyway.
Yeah, my dad's going to go to sleep. He can't stand me when I'm loud talking to you guys.
Right. It was great having both of you here, and great to have Alex here as well. We should do this again sometime, definitely. So,
agreed.
Anyone that's still here or anyone who sees this afterwards, on in an afterward showing, take care. See you later. Farewell.
Oh, and